Twitch and like I really like anime, like I don't know. So these aren't necessarily like the teachers of the generation.
Not the cream of the crop. Not the cream of the
offense.
crop. Just saying.
Welcome, Megan and Ben. Thank you for taking the time and coming on Drink Sake.
Ooh, thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you for
I
having
heard I'm popping your podcast cherry, so
me. Say it that way. Oh, my.
Yes, this is the first time, and the first time a woman has been on your podcast, I think. Is that right?
you're the second.
Ah.
I'm so sorry.
Somebody
You're
else
not.
broke
You
the
are
glass
not my
ceiling
first,
already.
Megan.
The glass
Actually,
ceiling.
Emily was the first.
Good for her.
Yes,
Tragic. Tragic. Well, we're just
keeping the quota. So I think I thought it was kind of fun getting you guys on, especially because I think podcast is basically the opposite of what you guys do.
A different kind of attention span.
Exactly.
Some would say.
Yeah.
If people don't know you guys, like, do you want to introduce a little bit what you do?
So we are the Hitobito, which means people in Japanese, because there's two of us running our channel that we do a lot of shorts, kind of just about our life and our experiences living in Japan. Recently, we've been adventuring to other Asian countries, such as China and Korea, and just showing the shenanigans that two weirdos like us get into. But we also do long videos, so we're learning how to, not just do 30-second clip kind of videos.
Believe it or not, yes.
I mean,
The
I've
videos
been-
aren't all 30 seconds.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying your long form actually, because I'm not a big shorts person. I gotta come clean. Not because I don't. It's the opposite. I get too addicted to it.
Your brain isn't fully cooked yet.
Exactly. So, or like I decooked it, and now I'm kind
You
of scared to
decooked?
jump back into it.
So you have like
we
some
can
kind of
fry you
healthy
again.
attitude about your internet consumption or something?
No. I'm trying a little bit. I'm actually like detoxing pretty hard.
for you.
Yeah, like right now. But it's kind of going. It's been going well for a while, and now I was like, I can watch tutorials at the very least.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is kind of a tutorial, and it kind of like you kind of start going from
Like
there,
a
right?
shorts
Education.
tutorial, like
Well, or just like like filmmaking stuff, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like how to.
okay.
So
You
little
might
stuff
learn
like that, but
something
then
from
there's
this.
like edge cases where it's
Yeah.
like, does this actually count as research, or is this?
Yeah.
Am I just like watching something right now? So it's kind of
Yeah.
hard.
We're on that slippery slope where the videos are like semi-educational, but they're
feel like
not,
your guys are.
fully educational. It's not like we're not sitting down and giving a lecture, but like there are things that you could get out of it.
Maybe we need to be less educational.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key.
No
$5
content.
million
2026,
to
that-
live underground in a bunker.
I was just very disappointed that you guys don't put the little car in your videos. The guy, the game where the car just flies around. Do you know which one I mean?
What?
So you know how like some people I think that
Subway
meta
Surfers?
have
They're like
that
a
meta
new-
have evolved,
like
but
Subway Surfers. like
Subway
in the
Surfer,
background.
yeah.
Minecraft parkour.
yeah, but there is
or
like the
Parkour.
one I love the most is the one with the car that has like no physics, and you just and it just keeps bouncing around.
Bro,
really,
you are cooked.
Yeah.
You're I
Exactly.
haven't even seen that
Easy
one.
Really?
expert, Yeah.
I think you probably know it if I show it to you.
There's
Maybe.
also the ads where they like are shooting on like a rail and there's like zombies coming down and you're like,
It's
I
like-
actually
You're,
played
like,
that
mowing
game
them
and I
down.
got
It's like
addicted to it and I was
World
absolutely-
hunger, like the last statistic, and it's like,
True. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what we need to do in this
Yeah.
the year of our Lord 2026. Is
We're all
start
getting
putting the apps under our, hey,
yep.
some good sponsorships in that. you
True,
know?
yes, let it
Candy
run
Crush in the background.
and do like 5 things to never do in Japan. What's the shorts landscape looking like for you guys in like 2026? Because I mean, I think it's fair to say that you are the biggest Japan-based shorts creators.
Yeah, maybe
As far I would say
Are we?
on YouTube.
on
maybe?
YouTube, I would say.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, at least living here, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like
And I think you
that's-
definitely do the best, like quality wise. I think your
Well,
videos are actual, yeah.
I
didn't want to say anything,
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's this ongoing conversation about AI is like the biggest thing.
Mm.
We're seeing that a lot in shorts is the impact of AI. I mean, we're seeing it in long videos. Like even recently, there was like a niche topic that I wanted to look into. It was like Neanderthals or whatever. And I was like, let me look into this. Let me see what kind of videos, what educational videos are out there, expecting like, I don't know, the Discovery channels, something like that would
Or like
come
Vox
up.
or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Vox or something
Yeah.
would be the first result. No, it was like this fully AI channel. Like educational, but also like how do I know it's
It's
really,
probably not,
you know, actually educational?
there are actually 2 channels I like quite a lot. One is Kurzgesagt, you probably know them too,
Oh,
right?
Love them.
Yeah.
Fun fact, they're German, so I actually
I did
got
know.
to visit when I was starting out YouTube. It was during COVID in 2020, and I actually was looking for like a space to work outside because I was still hoping to go back to Japan at that point.
Yeah.
I had all my stuff here except my laptop.
Yeah.
So I was living with my parents because the plan was just come back, you know, like graduate, go back to Japan. All my stuff was in Japan, got locked out because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I was staying with my parents, and I was like doing YouTube from there. And I was like, okay, I would like some place during the lockdown to just go and like work somewhere else and then come
Yeah.
back home. And so I reached out to them and I actually went to the office and everything. Very cool.
So cool.
Very,
Wow.
very cool.
So you met the birds.
Yeah, I got
The
I
birds
got a
themselves.
shirt. They got me a shirt and everything, and they actually did. They would have been fine with me working there, kindly enough. They were very forthcoming. But then I actually got the visa exactly then and like actually managed to slip in. But yeah, very cool. But so them, sorry for the little
Oh,
tangent.
it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Them, and then there's another creator I really like called Kyle Hill. I'm not sure if you know
Oh
him.
yeah,
With the long hair. Yes, science guy, big beard.
Dude, he's the best. I used to binge his videos.
Crazy, right? He has a good
Yeah.
stuff. And they both talk about how the entire like education and science sphere has been overrun by these AI channels. With like the classic, like you have like the Joe Rogan thumbnail and then the Neil deGrasse Tyson thumbnail and like some
Yeah.
crazy, and they're just like sometimes they're like 70% right at its best.
Right.
But even then, like it's wrong enough to like be information
yeah.
basically.
I feel like people are so. It's so easy for people to have misunderstandings, and the best person to correct those kind of misunderstandings is another person who's
Yeah.
like been doing it for a long time and can explain, like science educators who can do that.
Or just somebody who has any liability.
Yeah,
Like, you
that's
know,
huge.
if they're wrong and you're like trying to contact them, how do you know it's not just some like bot farm out in the middle of nowhere that's like been generating this stuff and they
so
have
scary.
no...
Sorry that we have been spreading misinformation.
Not
Yeah.
even. They won't respond to
Yeah.
you. Or even a chat GPT responds at best.
I
you
mean,
know?
I spread misinformation right at the beginning of this podcast saying you were the first woman here, so I feel bad.
But purposeful
Read-
misinformation.
Well, speaking of misinformation, I do have something that's not at all related to that in my pocket that is a gift for you.
Oh.
And it is very important.
Yes. Oh, is
It
it
is.
boxers? Yo.
Can we get a close up of this?
Yes, please.
This is.
I just realized
I'm
there's
gonna
text on the
crush
back.
these.
Yeah. Well, first there's text on the back.
Ooh.
that,
Oh,
please.
birthday.
What does it
So
say?
devil fruit, gomu gomu no mi.
Yes.
Birthday 5/5 version of New World.
Thank you very much. Yes. Unironically, I'm going to be wearing these for my videos.
Put them on right now.
I was kind of worried about it because I was like, they don't look very breathable. But
I don't know if
You know
the
what?
quality is too good.
I will report. I will report next time. These are so sick.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them on right now.
Right now.
You could.
They'll
You get
be
a
here.
lot of views.
Thanks, guys. That's
Yeah,
so
of
cool.
course.
I love these. Where do you find these?
We were at like the mall yesterday.
In
We were
Odaiba.
just,
So
like,
good.
Odaiba, yeah.
These are legit actually pretty fun.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
love these.
Odaiba is like the new Akihabara in terms of
I
like
think you kind of crushed the size too, low key.
we
good?
did.
Yeah, because I think are these is it like large or XL?
Large.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Okay. Good. Good.
Recently, like my legs have been getting a little bit bigger.
Okay.
so-
Nice.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah,
swole.
doing-
Yeah,
okay.
just
I
like-
didn't want to
Okay,
give you a
Jim
pair
Bro.
that didn't work,
Thank
but I also
you.
didn't want to be like, oh, this guy needs XXL because he's like.
Nah,
you
this
know.
is perfect.
Yeah,
That's
let's
good.
go,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'll report.
I wear the
I'll
XL
report.
stuff. I got a fat ass.
He is a you were thicky.
I feel like it's Japanese sizes though,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what I was worried
I felt
about.
it makes you feel really fat, like when you first come here, and they're like, and you're like, I'm a medium, and they're like, no, you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll like
I've
laugh
had
in your
that
face.
happen with shop attendants where
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be picking up like a small and they'll be like,
Mm.
M size どうですか? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all, didn't
Yeah.
need your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll come up even worse when they're like, they'll tell you like, it is one size. And you're like, yeah.
It says, one size can fit anyone,
Yeah.
even you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Good
it's-
luck.
it's
Yeah.
So rude.
I think the funniest interaction I had was when I actually picked out an M size T-shirt when I first moved here, and then the staff lady she was looking at it and she was like, try it on. And she was like, I'm very excited to see what it's gonna be, and I was like, yeah, maybe not. Kind of like this.
Yeah.
I was kind of like going back to the AI thing. Like one thing I actually find is kind of crazy is because Japan is such a trendy topic, and I kind of wanted to obviously like get into that with you guys a little bit more too for the shorts stuff specifically. But people have been making up stories about
yeah.
like just
Oh,
fake
yeah.
locations and
Yeah.
fake events just because they know like
Yeah.
Japan drama, whatever it is going to
For
do
sure.
well.
Yeah.
What's your experience with that?
We've seen a lot of things get called like Japan that are blatantly Korea or China.
Oh, that's so true.
At least, I mean, at least it's a real place and it's real footage. But you know, it's
Not
like,
good enough.
they're like, hey, Asia.
Asia,
They're like,
yeah.
Japan's that's the sexy one, right? Like, we'll just put it, whatever. And so it's annoying because you'll see the text like on screen, like you'll see it's like Korean. So there's
It's
no
like very easy.
no
So they're not even
doubt.
trying.
Very
Yeah.
easy to tell. And so, yeah, that's been so annoying. And it's always these AI voiceovers. And that's also what really pisses me off because like they take our clips. It's happened to us.
Oh, just
They've
ripping your
taken-
stuff.
They just ripped our stuff, put an AI voiceover over it. You know, not even like proper grammar in any language that they're, you know, translating it to. And they're like, crazy thing, Japan style. Watch Japan live in future. And I'm like, who are you people? Like, you know?
You could have even used AI to translate it properly.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
That's too much.
Yeah, no.
That's too much of an ask. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been crazy for us,
Yeah,
I would
mean,
say.
you probably, when you first started making videos in the school, you wouldn't have thought that someone was like clipping them together
yeah.
and like making up weird
New
stories.
stuff.
Written
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's become pretty common. I have like, there's like the copyright feature tool on YouTube, right? And I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have
yeah.
people like take my videos and then have like AI Spanish on top.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
And it's me on screen. Like I'm on screen and I'm like, I don't know.
Cap.
Maybe.
Cap.
yeah, there's also the weird translation thing that everyone hates, where it's like,
Oh, the
it's
auto dubs?
auto dub,
They're
yeah.
so bad on
Yeah,
YouTube.
they're quite bad.
It's
Really
so uncanny
Sorry.
valley. No, you can call them out. It's the most uncanny valley thing. Yeah.
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 We accidentally turned them on once, and we had like a flood of comments where people were like, "What is this weird voice? Why does it
It's
sound?"
all
why
the
is it a different,
Germans,
like-"
ironically.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
like, "This is not the what is you should be saying. It sounds so strange, American." It's like, what?
We're like, we didn't think we did anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Actually, you gotta check.
On
My
by
auto
default.
dubs are turned on.
Yeah,
And on.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's a facet of it, but I think in general there's just
Mm.
been a lot of concerns about. I mean, the other problem on this like big scale is that like, you know, if you're living in America or, you know, Japan or I don't know, any country with like a higher wage, like making videos is fairly expensive and you have to like make quite a bit of money to be able to maintain a lifestyle as a content creator. But people who can just rip clips, they can do it so much quicker, so much cheaper. They don't have to actually travel somewhere to like get those clips themselves. They can just rip it and then put it whatever AI voiceover. They don't even have to do it themselves. And then, you know, they just put out 20, 30, 40 of them a day and whatever does well, you know,
Yeah,
then they
yeah,
get
yeah.
the money
Crazy.
from it.
Support
So,
your creators. You
support
know?
your local.
I
we're-
will
Even
say
if it's
though,
not
it's
us.
The real ones
I
struggling.
respect it though if at least you sit there and point at the other video. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're doing
You got me
something.
there.
It's like I agree.
That.
Yeah,
Is that still around or is that already like 2 years ago? I don't know.
There's some of that.
I feel
Is
like
it still existing?
I remember that's such like a millennialism of the like this guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, I agree.
Like BuzzFeed times.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So how was your journey coming to Japan? Because unlike most people, you didn't do Osaka or Tokyo, which I think is like the go-to places, right? To
Oh, we
land in
tried.
Japan.
We tried.
Yeah.
We wanted to.
You guys landed on Awajishima,
Yeah,
which is
Awajishima.
an island in, is it Hyogo Prefecture?
Hyogo.
Yes. Very famous for, I think, oranges. Is that correct?
no,
or
it's
Mikan?
tamanegi. It's
Is it tamanegi?
Yeah,
Onions? Okay.
Ironically, because I'm allergic to onions.
Oh no!
Yeah.
she's-
You can't be allergic to onions.
It was a
I
Do you-
did
terrible-
not
well,
know that.
does not sit well with my stomach.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, I remember when we got the email. It was like, "You are placed on Minami Awaji," and I was like,
We
"I
immediately was like
pronounce that.
Googling
I'm
and
like, where?
And
the
she's like, "No,
smallest wiki,
onions."
smallest wiki article of all time, and it was just like they're famous for onions. I was like, oh.
How how did you get placed? Was it the JET program or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the JET program, you apply, and it's rather competitive to get in. And when you are putting in your application, you get to like suggest like 3 different locations. So we said we wanted what, like Osaka,
Kobe and
Kobe, and I said Kinki, like the prefecture,
Yeah.
because you know Kinki.
Kinky region, yeah.
Yeah, the kinky region. So because I was like, well, anywhere around Osaka, Kyoto, like there's a lot of cities that are close together, and I was like, that's okay, I can do that. And of course, you know, it's like the genie that gives you your wish, but they're like, but there's a catch.
Yeah.
A sorting hat.
Yeah, it's a sorting hat.
Like, but it's gonna be on an island.
Exactly.
Of the coast.
I was like, so the one thing I was hoping for is trains and not a single damn train on this island. So yeah, they put us out on the southern half of Awajishima, and
And you were placed as a primary, and I was placed as
Do you quickly want to explain how the JET
Yeah.
program works also?
Why don't you?
For people who don't know?
yeah, I mean, so we both applied for it actually, and
It's a language
it's a
teacher
language-
program, right?
yeah, it's a language. I don't.
assistant teacher program.
What does it stand for?
It's the Japan exchange teacher, I think,
teaching program
or something like that.
Something like that. Very official.
It
sounding.
sounds
Sounds
very
like
bougie.
it. Yeah.
We
And
need
it's
to fact
actually
check.
it's headed by the Japanese government, which is different from a lot of these, you know, kind of language schools that you'll find here. So this is like the premier English teaching thing that a lot of people go and do following graduation. And so you apply for it, you know, you don't have to be graduating. Sorry.
The last podcast.
The last
so Manu has passed away.
Do you guys know when you try to drink water quietly on the train and then
Gulp.
this happens to me way too often. I'm like, I'm gonna do it very quietly, and then just
I
immediately
always be
choke on
choking
it.
on it.
Sorry.
No, all good. So basically, like a lot of people end up applying for it as they're graduating from college, right? But you can apply for it at any time. And all that you need is to be able to like speak English natively, essentially. And they will process your application. You go through an interview if you're selected. And then after that, you get an acceptance or a what is it? Wait list?
Or a wait list.
Yeah, wait list or straight up rejection.
Okay.
And so I was accepted. Unfortunately, Ben was on the wait list.
Yeah, I was an alternate.
Sounds
Yeah.
so degrading.
A cope.
Yeah.
A cope.
Like maybe one day
Yeah, maybe.
We can still get there,
we can
buddy.
still be friends. Yeah.
We can still be friends. And so then like it's literally like maybe like a month before they ship you out. They tell you where you're going.
Yeah, they don't tell
And
you
they might
anything.
not-
This is like a year-long process,
Yeah.
by the way. Like you have to do it
Long
like
process.
basically 9, 10, 11 months before you do it, before you
Okay.
actually move. So you're waiting months and months and months. We were talking and we were like, wow.
So like a month before, you might be like, oh, I might be going to Niseko in Hokkaido,
Yes.
and I
Exactly.
might go to Okinawa. Who knows what I'm gonna pack?
And even then, there were people like as we were on the plane, and I was asking them, you know, what's your school? What level? What grade are you teaching? They're like, don't know anything. They won't tell me anything. What?
Crazy.
You know, that's your new life.
Yeah.
And so you get placed in this random place. Usually, it tends to be more rural because you know they need teachers out there, and so from there, you get shipped to wherever you're going. And
Yeah,
Sounds like human
One
traffic.
minute
it's kind of
Like they put you in a container
very-
So
box.
they put you in a van and
you get 2 apples, and like one of those
Unironically a
hamster
van.
bottles. Yeah.
It was a van. It was a
unironically.
white van filled with people in it.
it's
Scared.
It's
with all teacher
kawaii.
candidates.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because you're flown into Tokyo for your orientation these first 3 days because you know you don't need teaching credentials to get in. You know, a lot of people what they're coming into this program with is like, I took a Japanese class in college and like I really like anime, like I don't know. So these aren't necessarily like the teachers of the generation.
Not the cream of the crop.
offense.
Not the cream of the
offense.
crop. Just saying.
I'm saying I'm not exactly the
Nobody
perfect
was
teacher
the cream
either.
of the crop.
Okay. My videos evidence that, okay? So yeah, you do this 3-day like orientation. They put you up at the KO Plaza,
Oh, nice.
which is a nice
Yeah.
hotel.
Nice hotel.
Like right in the middle of Shinjuku. And so you're
It's
there.
so bad. 'Cause we stayed there for like 3 nights, and we were like going around Tokyo. We went to Meiji Jingu. We went to
Big
these
city
cool-
slickers.
We're big city
We're like,
thing.
this
We're
is
like
our
spending
life.
money and stuff, and then they ship us off, and we keep getting further and further, and then there's a bridge to the island, and we just see Kobe float into the distance, and we're like, oh my god, all I see is trees.
Yeah.
But there is a bridge.
There is a bridge.
There is a bridge.
It would have been
God.
funny if they did like the Harry Potter, like put you in a rowboat.
No, and
Submarine.
I was like, maybe I should feel lucky because I was talking to other Jets in orientation who were like coping so hard. They were like, yeah, there's like a ferry a day to my island that I'm getting placed on. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I thought
So
I was
bad.
bad, but at least there's like roads. You know what I mean?
Funnily enough, it sounds like now having lived in Tokyo for 5 years, that actually sounds kind of romantic. But I feel like
Yeah.
if that's your
Right.
first
Exactly.
interaction with Japan,
Exactly. We would come right off of this like four-star hotel probably, and then we went out and we saw our apartment, which was completely in shambles. It
Yeah.
was due to her predecessor. It was completely in
Yeah.
shambles. There was broken glass on the ground. There was dirty
was it also
dishes.
a previous Jet member?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
it was.
you're replacing somebody else at their
Yes.
job, somebody who either has decided to, go back to their home country or that they have aged out of the program, basically, because you can only get up to 5 years.
Okay.
This person got very lucky and got to stay 7 years because of COVID. They had special rules. And
Lucky or maybe got stuck there. I don't know. Yeah.
she seemed pretty happy. Like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Because of the broken glass.
well,
Well, yeah, I feel like if you're the kind of person where you want to stay doing that and you can, there's actually like you can get that job security where you've
Well,
been there.
and I'm
for a long
saying
time.
she was happy in that I don't think she liked the fact that there was somebody else coming in.
Oh, you think she
replace.
trashed the place before?
I know, not necessarily. Just there was a lot of
Yeah.
resentment.
There was a lot of
like,
weirdness. Yeah,
I'm
it was
not
just
going to be
weird.
as helpful as I could be.
Oh, okay. Oh, was she supposed to kind of
Yeah,
initiate
they're
you a little
supposed to
bit?
Be your kind of like mentor going into,
okay.
because it's the person who had your job before you,
Yeah.
and not just your job, but it's even more intense than that because they had your apartment. And for us, we were like told, oh, you can buy, your car from her and stuff, just inherit all this
Yeah.
stuff. She ends up scamming us
They encourage you
on the car.
They encourage
Actually?
you to,
Actually.
yeah, they encourage you to talk to your predecessor and like work through stuff and be like, oh, I'm going to transfer this stuff. Like, what do you want? Do you want me? I'll leave this stuff. I'll sell this stuff. So, it just didn't work out very well. And
Wait,
yeah,
what happened with the car? Was the car just
It was
trashed or?
it was a little weird that we paid too much for it, I think, and it was a little bit of a situation where I think she knew she could get away with it because we didn't know what a car was worth or whatever.
How
But
much did she charge you? You remember?
it was really this sounds crazy because it was really cheap for a
Yeah,
car, but it was
because here,
definitely more than it was worth.
it costs money to get rid of shit you don't need,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So she was really getting off quite well because this car was old as hell.
Yeah.
And she lied to us.
That's
she
true.
Told
It was also 10 years older than she said it
Yeah.
was. And then there's also Shaken. Do you know Shaken? It's like you have to, every 2 years you have to.
Oh,
re-up
Shaken.
your-
Yeah.
You have to re-up your car and it
Yes.
costs like,
More
it costs
than
like
the car.
$1,500. It costs about as much as the car costs.
Is it?
It's very
At
expensive.
least
it Juma?
because it wasn't a K car.
Okay.
Was the other thing we found out. We were like,
It's like a mid-size.
it was like the mid-size vehicle, which means that like all the rates go up like crazy. Like so back to that bridge, we find out, oh, well, at least there's a bridge. The bridge costs like 2,000 yen every time you want to cross it.
Really?
And we
It's
find
pretty
out
bad.
our car is going to cost us like double the amount a K car will cost both ways.
Yeah.
So we're like,
It was very unlucky.
Yeah.
And we kind of navigated that. It was a big move because like,
yeah.
she had lived in China, she had lived in Germany. You'd never lived in Japan.
No.
So that was a huge move for you still. And it was also a huge move for me because I lived
Was
in
it your first
Kansas
time?
my whole life,
Okay.
basically.
Did you leave the
Um,
U.S. before that or
I had been out for like a week
Okay.
to
Florida?
soon, maybe soon.
The
It'll
most
be
culture shock you could ever get, I think.
Greenland? No.
Greenland.
but yeah, it was a big move. I mean, it was like a huge
Yeah,
transition.
going abroad for the first time, and then I think obviously when it comes, I'm curious, like since you have lived in China
Mhm.
and you've been to Korea as well, right? I would say that it feels like Japan is the most Western when it comes to Asia in a lot of ways, but it is still like probably very different than moving from the US to Europe or from Europe to like the States or something or like Canada, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I feel like
comparing.
Yeah, Korea to me recently has been the most Western, and maybe that's just because
Interesting.
of their like interest in trends and stuff.
Oh,
You know, and that like openness of, I think, the K-pop industry. Like, because the first time I went to Japan was actually while I was in China, because there's a
Right.
huge break for New Year's for like the Chinese school year. And so I was like, screw it. Like, I thought this was the only chance in my life I was ever going to be in Asia. So I was like, I'm going to go do a grand tour. So I went to Hong Kong, I went to Shanghai, I went to Taipei, and then I came over to Japan. And that's when I really fell in love with it in 2019, you know? And so, yeah.
She's a lot cooler than me. If you
I was
haven't
also
realized,
broke.
if you did the math.
I was staying in those hostels. I was like,
Oh, nice.
I was really roughing
Roughing
it.
it.
Yeah.
2 weeks in the capsule hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Not even. I was like at like a hostle with like curtains, and I was like, wow, this is so bougie. Like, they have
It's like curtains, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say back then I felt like, compared to China, I was like, this is so Western. Like, you have carbonara. I remember that being like the big point, because I was like, they have pasta here. Like, China does not have pasta.
Not the Japanese carbonara.
Yeah,
That is
well, to me, that
the
was
peak
like,
of Western civilization.
I keep hearing people say that Japan has like the best Italian food, like out of anywhere except for Italy, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, there's exceptions.
That is a
but, like,
wild statement.
I know, like your average Italian place here is pretty bad.
I think there are some decent ones. I think the more Japanese, like fusion Italian food, I don't love it.
Fusion, yeah.
I will say I'm like not super sold on American Italian food either. So
yeah.
Are you talking shit about Olive Garden, bro? You better watch it.
I love all of that.
Well,
There we
That's
go.
my, that's
It is.
shout out to my.
So the sponsor of today's podcast.
Olive
yeah.
Garden. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That should probably, which leads me to, no, I think, I mean, obviously, I guess, at least me, because I'm from Munich, which is like fairly south in Germany, I think like northern Italy is a lot closer than like Berlin by car. It's like 3 hours or 4 hours
Yeah.
if there's no traffic. So we have a lot. I think we have like some of the, I think the biggest number, okay, I might be talking out of my ass here, but I think we have the biggest number of like actual Italian run plate like restaurants.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah,
so
'cause
you've
we're so close.
got class when it comes.
Yeah.
I'm
So I'm
just
like a little bit
lowly
spoiled. Yeah.
Kansas
We're
boy, you
here
know?
adding cream to our carbonara, just enraging the Italians. They're shaking their fists. Yeah. So
I'm putting like shredded cheese and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, the cheese is fine. Just like do like mostly eggs, I guess.
mostly,
Oh,
Yeah, it's
eggs.
it's
slap
eggs,
some craft singles
cheese,
on there.
yeah,
I can make a
pecorino.
very good carbonara, but
Nice.
not in China.
she's very
not
good,
in
yeah.
China, because they really like getting like butter in China was like, that was
Hard.
hard.
Interesting.
crazy.
Cheese in China was like, and I don't know, because we've just recently visited. I don't know how much that's changed. I think it's gotten better, but it still was
Yeah,
not
getting-
like you don't go
Yeah.
into a supermarket. Like when I heard like people in Japan like complaining about, oh, there's no cheese in Japan, I like came over as I had just been in China, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, this is
I mean,
this is
It seems like they
amazing.
have more
Yeah.
like Indian food and like Middle Eastern food
Mm.
and stuff like that has cheese on it versus like
Interesting.
American.
I do
style
think like in
stuff.
Japan, at least in Tokyo, I will say like there's things that are hard to get, but generally, if you want to get your hands on something, you
Exactly.
are
You can
gonna
find
get
it,
it. It is gonna be
yes.
expensive, but you are gonna find it.
And that's
yeah.
what I'm
Exactly.
saying, because I got to the point of being so desperate for cheese that I ordered it off of Taobao, which is like ordering cheese off of like Temu.
eBay.
So I got like a big block of Gouda.
Yes.
You go on
Was it good? Was it
Craigslist,
okay?
Type in cheese.
It
It
was
was cheese.
It was cheese. Well, we were staying like in the dorms. There were also people from the Netherlands, and they were like, "Oh, this is not gouda," and I was like, "Okay, but it's
The
cheese."
Dutch gotta chill with their cheese. They're so
Yeah.
proud of it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To your
Yeah.
point about the about Japan kind of feeling like the most Western, I feel like both Korea and China are like felt very Western when we've been there.
I'm catching up there.
Like I feel like Korea feels very American in a weird way, and also China felt weirdly American. Like when we went, I was so very surprised how compared to Japan, like Japan's a very like uptight in a lot of ways, but like everything works. But when we went there, it felt like kind of like the Wild West, where you go in America and people are like kind of doing their own thing. It felt very capitalist. It felt very consumerist. Like to me, it was a very eye-opening experience to how similar it actually was.
I'm actually kind of curious about that because I went to Korea for the first and so far only time, like exactly 2 years ago, 2024. And I kind of felt, for me, Seoul felt like Japan, what I imagined it like 30 years ago.
Oh yeah,
if that makes
a very
sense.
similar thing.
So I'm like curious why you think that like Korea felt a little bit more Western actually.
I think in terms of infrastructure, it's like I see a lot of Chinese influence actually.
Can you tell me why they're building like crazy? So we took a train from Seoul to not quite Busan. It was before Busan. I do not, sadly, not remember the name of the... So I looked up... We wanted to do one-day culture, right? So I looked up cultural things to do in Korea, and it gave me, oh, you got to go to this place. It's the Kyoto of Korea. The Kyoto of Korea, turns out, has like 3 like big hill like graves, like tomb graves.
Okay.
Oh.
And that's kind of it. And it was this big lake that was weirdly illuminated. And we were staying in this massive business hotel where we're like us, and then it was like 2 other people.
Yeah.
They had like bowling and everything, and these like giant
sick.
halls, and we were just like walking through it, like with our soju bottle.
Like,
Like,
the back rooms
like
of,
what is
Classic
happening?
traditional
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah.
It's bowling.
But on the way, like when we took the train, everywhere they were like creating these giant skyscraper like colonies, and I'm like, isn't Korea slowly dying out? I was like, who are they building these for?
Especially
That's a
outside
good
of
question.
Seoul.
Yeah, I mean, because they are building like crazy in China, and frankly, that's probably a good thing because I think their population is increasing. And frankly,
Isn't it shrinking too in China?
It's shrinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Again,
Shrinking
misinformation.
shrinking pretty hard actually. Yeah.
This guy
I'm just
getting
here.
his information from
I'm
the
here to
AI
lie.
channels.
I'm here to
Classic.
lie.
Classic.
But you know, I mean, when I see building, I'm like, yay, exciting! Because
Did you know that China will reach 1 trillion people
They're coming for you.
in 15 minutes? Yeah. But I did notice that they're building like crazy in China too, which makes even less sense. So yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I think China also didn't have like a bit of a real estate bubble thing happening too.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that deep on China,
Not that deep in
like
the
the
Chinese conspiracy theories.
well, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's a conspiracy theory, but I have heard that people have like invested a lot of money in like real estate that now it turns out no one really needs.
Yeah, and maybe all the contracts are already done,
or
so
something like
we
that.
still
Yeah,
have to-
or like the
yeah,
money
still
isn't
keep-
there anymore. I don't remember what the exact details were, but
I
yeah.
just know there's a lot of people that try to put their money, their investments into like real estate, especially like Chinese investors. And that's been a thing with Japan. Like one of the issues they've been trying to tackle kind of recently is like
in Hokkaido, yeah.
not just Hokkaido, like in Tokyo, anywhere, is these huge buildings being built that are entirely investment properties.
empty.
Yeah,
And they're just empty. And
especially when they're like luxury,
Yeah.
like, where no one's gonna really like live in them or
yeah,
anything.
it's there's no Japanese people
Yeah.
able to afford it.
there's
I
no
do know
demand,
that
yeah.
like around Sapporo, apparently, like in Hokkaido, like there have been these like Chinese investment companies that have been buying huge swaths of land. Yeah, we have kind of had like I mean, and that's like obviously not a Japan exclusive thing. I know that Vancouver had like a thing, right?
Australia, like
And
Sydney,
Australia.
yeah.
In Munich, actually, for the longest time, like half the inner city, like the really beautiful ancient. I mean, ancient is maybe a bit much, but like old buildings, right? And they're completely empty because they're like some Russian oligarchs that bought them for like
yeah.
investments too.
Yeah.
That's goals, to be
Oh,
honest.
I think it's just like typical rich people shit where they're like, how do I park my money in as
Yeah.
many places and as many things
But kind of
as
sad
possible?
also because
Yeah,
on the one hand, like all these cities, like rent is getting more and more expensive.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for locals, right?
And so much is empty. Yeah.
In the U.S.,
Right?
that's a huge problem because it's like all of the even in Kansas where we're from,
In
like
Kansas?
they keep buying these they keep building these like high class high middle earners apartments that are very much like not affordable to your average person. And that's partially because there's just not a lot of housing, but it's also because like they're building them to be investments, and so it's just like
Crazy.
it's something. When we went to China, I saw these big buildings that are like, maybe their apartments are small, maybe they're not like the super highest quality, but it's like, damn, it'd be nice to just be able to afford a
place.
cheap apartment, like,
Right.
and to know that anyone can live there. Like,
Well, and fundamentally, it's so different than how apartments are in Japan because, like, these apartments are 3-4 bedroom. when they're like intended for a family, of course there's kind of like the studio spaces that you can find too, but they're 3-4 bedroom. They'll have 3-4 bathrooms as well. And the layout is so big compared to like, it really feels like a proper condo as opposed to kind of the shoe boxes that exist here, which I mean, you know, the quality of building here is quite good.
I will say,
It lasts forever.
You do feel kind of safe. In
Even this
too.
building is like, you know, pretty
It's
old. So it's
older,
like,
but
I mean, space is kind of limited, I guess, in Tokyo also,
So they have to build it.
Yeah. I would assume that like if you want to live in like a very central area in like Shanghai or something or Beijing, it'll probably be a bit more pricey too, I'd expect.
Well, and the interesting thing you were finding out was that you only hold like a lease on land for 70 years.
Yeah, there's like a weird law in China where it's like the word own doesn't really, it's not the same thing, but it's like the lease comes back after 7 years. You just have to apply for it. But it's basically like if you own a bunch of properties and then you die and like your line is dead, then they can be like, okay, now we're gonna take this. The state's gonna come back. Which
maybe, I don't know, looking at Japan and how many like old people are sitting on these very important plots of land that could be used for, you know, public stuff. Yeah. Well, maybe it's a good thing.
Don't say too many good things about China. Everyone's going to keep accusing us of
being CCP.
Are you paying?
I wish we were paid.
I wish.
And if so, share some money with them.
Like, oh, we'll talk after. We made like 3 videos about
isn't there like
China,
okay, again, I'm not so familiar with like the entire China sphere, but I have heard of the word like the, what is it, white monkey, or is that the term?
Oh yeah, like
like people who just chill, or not, like people who chill really hard for China on the internet.
I guess so. Yeah. I think maybe that's
I'm sure
the
it
new,
exists. Yeah.
The new facet of the
hilarious.
Like, white person.
There's propaganda everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good,
everywhere.
and it's mostly when I'm spreading in misinformation. That's my goal.
You and the AI?
Most,
His goal.
Actually, Ben is AI. There's no one sitting in that chair right now. Most people don't realize
that would be impressive.
Post edited.
Yeah.
Or my fingers.
But I feel like Korea is like the most Western right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, to me at least. Like when I go there, like in terms of like food, how people act, like it, you know, it's got this.
That I can see.
Yeah, for sure, right?
That I can see.
People speak English.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people speak better English than they do in Japan, for sure. I was shocked, like how
which
good.
I think makes sense to a certain degree. There's like a very interesting, I'm trying to think what the name of the linguist is, but his idea was basically the bigger your national economy, the less need there is for you to speak a foreign language. So the smaller your country is, the more your country is engaging with other countries, the more there's a need to actually speak other languages. Well, like Japan has been so homogeneous, and they have like a strong, still to this day, a fairly like, still number 4, I think, at the moment, like close to India. I think like Germany GDP overtook them recently. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how Germany is the 3rd largest.
Yeah. Let's go.
Unbeatable.
Legitimately no idea how we're at number 3, but
well, we just keep buying all y'all stuff.
I guess it's all the cars. but yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. If you're like a country like Japan that had a very strong economy, still has a reasonably strong economy, and there's just not that much need to go somewhere. If you want to do a business, you can do it in Japan, right? Basically, while if you're like in Greece or in Korea, there's like a lot more pressure, I think, that you do business with other countries, bigger countries, and that kind of forces you to learn other languages.
Yeah, I think like historically too, I mean, like Christianity is much bigger in Korea than it is shockingly big. Like you go there and you're not really, I mean, if you had only been to China and Japan, you wouldn't expect to see such a presence of church, but like very present there.
Super.
And I mean, just like the Korean War, like there's a lot of American culture that was brought over.
American influence after the war,
for better and worse. So
I mean, I do feel that in Japan, obviously too, as a European, I guess. Yeah, but maybe it's not as tangible for you guys. I don't know.
In Japan, it exists in Japan for sure.
Yeah.
Like in fact, the other day when we were at the mall, we saw this like place that was like.
I think the fact that there is
themed or something.
I think the fact that there is a mall is already by itself American influence that might not be like super obvious for you guys, but
which is ironic.
We're like there's things other
or like
than
family restaurants or convenience stores.
Because in
like
America, that concept is like dying. Like malls are like really not.
Which is it that sad? I feel like it's. I mean, I don't know. I've never grown up around one, but it kind of like what I've like my impression was always, oh, it's this place where instead of having all these small local businesses, everyone just drives their car to this one place and hangs out there.
Well, okay, you had the option of having local businesses.
Right.
We grew up around, Hardee's and Applebee's.
All chains. All chains.
Staples.
We came to Japan. We're like, wait, there's like, what do you mean small business?
Well,
What
there's
does
so
that
much
mean?
when we're walking like down the road and we see these businesses, we're like, how do these stay open?
Right?
Like,
It's like no one is coming in to
Yeah.
buy like your handkerchiefs.
I've
or-
seen like button stores, like walls lined with buttons, and like their
Yeah.
specialty is just like they sell buttons. And I'm like, how are you staying open? Is this like a tax thing? Like,
I do think traditionally in Japan you actually have, I think it's very traditional that you had like this building structure where the first floor, so ground floor is the business, and then the family lives on top, right?
Yeah.
And usually they'd own the building, so you'd
Right.
kind of just have to earn enough for your
Right.
family, basically.
but it's like
Right.
amazing that still exists in 2026.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it's
wonder
pretty
if it is. I've heard like kind of, and personally like walking around, because there are stores like these still opening up, but it
Yeah.
feels like more of them are kind of dying out, sadly,
Yeah, for
also.
sure.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely exist in our neck of the woods. They definitely exist.
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
would say that's true. You don't see like a bunch like
Yes.
opening per se.
I do think Amazon truly has taken Japan by storm, like
Yeah.
almost no other country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have it in Europe, like obviously, like Germany, people love ordering stuff. But I feel like
Yeah.
the amount of people in, like, it's such, like, obviously you have people in Japan already who like prefer to stay at home and do their own thing.
Yeah.
And once you can just start,
That's so
yeah.
true. Because
It's
the
good
deliveries
fast.
are so fast here
Insane.
already, and having that's pretty crazy.
But it's a bit of a shame because I kind of always feel when I walk around like my local Shotengai or even like where you guys live, there's like so
Yeah.
many great little like restaurants and cafes
Yeah.
and right like little shops. Even though maybe you wouldn't go in, it's kind of
Right.
nice
That
seeing
they're
it.
there, yeah.
And even for me, going to the dry cleaner or something, like, you get to like chat with people and kind of get a
Yeah.
bit of a feeling of community, and you get to interact. I think one thing I actually dislike about Munich, particularly, even though it's a nice place to live and a really great city and we have a lot of nature and stuff, but everything is also kind of very car centric. And all the stores and everything like shopping related, except maybe groceries, is all centered in the middle. So if you want to go shopping and you don't want to buy it on Amazon, you go in the city center.
Yeah.
But then you have these like huge districts where it's mostly just residential and people don't really know each other because there's like nowhere where you'd really run into
Where you'd
people.
meet, You're
which
leaving your apartment.
I find is like a bit of a shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're big walkable city people.
Yeah.
We love that.
It's depressing when you're like in America and you're like, I need to go to the grocery store and then I need to go to like the pet store, and they're buildings, right next to each other in the same like strip mall. But you're like, but it is like a drive across the parking lot, so I better just go back to my
Take the
car and
car.
then move it. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's so,
Yeah.
and
But I guess if the infrastructure or like the layout isn't like exactly inviting you
Yeah,
It's
to walk
not.
either,
This is what
yeah.
you
it's
do,
not.
right?
How do you
I don't think it's a personal thing. I think it's just it's the way that infrastructure
Oh,
affects our lives.
architecture
right?
does absolutely,
Yeah.
because if you have the green space and if you have like a place where you want to walk around
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
then
yeah.
you're probably much more likely to do it. I'm kind of curious, like compared to Awajishima, which is very beautiful. Like I think it's a
Yeah.
beautiful place. I don't know how I would like it living there, but just
Yeah.
visiting is very, very nice. How do you like Tokyo? Because for me, I'm kind of always torn between Tokyo needs so much more greenery, but at the same time being always pleasantly surprised actually how much like pockets of nature you can
Yeah.
find here. So how did you guys experience that?
When we lived in Awajishima, I
way,
think
Since we are on the
Oh.
podcast, I will.
Oh,
But please keep talking.
pop
I
the
will
sake.
just yes.
Pop the sake.
Since we are on the Drink Sake
Absolutely.
podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Give you
Yeah,
a
I heard
little-
there was free sake here. That's why I showed up.
Correct.
Aw.
Correct.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go.
Thank you much.
Don't feel forced to drink
It's
it all. Oh yeah.
Kanpai.
Cheers. Oh, it is cold.
Ooh,
That's
that's really
sweet.
nice.
Sorry, you were saying. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, so the thing about where we were at in Awajishima is it was like, how do you describe it? It was like off the highway,
Yeah, yeah. It was like a 10-minute drive from any like center area.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't necessarily this like idyllic nature, like
Okay.
we were just kind of out in the mountain. You could
Amongst
see
the butterflies.
Yeah, you could see the mountains, right? But like it wasn't this beautiful. We had like a building right in front of us that like we woke up every morning to the view of like a hospital.
Like an electric. Yeah.
And like electrical wires and stuff. So it's, you know, I feel like it still takes, even out in the countryside, it still takes some planning to like actually truly feel like you're immersed in nature. Because for the most part, it feels like these like highway stops, you know, where you have like, okay, there's the IKEA and there's the like the car shop and the grave,
all the gravestone places.
The biggest industry in Awajishima is the gravestone stores.
Booming.
Oh, nice.
Booming. Everybody worked in either gravestones, insurance, or
like hospitals.
Now I know what I'll do if YouTube doesn't work
Yeah.
out.
Let me know. I know a guy.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's start a business. Yeah. Western style
One Piece
gravestones.
is ending.
Yeah.
get a Luffy headstone.
I'll dig my own grave. I'll carve my own gravestone.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I feel like everybody was telling us, like in Awajishima, they were like, "You're gonna miss the greenery. You're gonna miss the mountains." And I was like, you know, not to say that it wasn't pretty and you could see the mountains and stuff. You could, and we could see the beach, like if we drove 10 minutes or whatever. But like, I interact more with the greenery here, I think. Maybe I appreciate it more, at least, because it's a little bit more curated. Like, it's you like parks and...
Yeah, well, and I feel like, I think all of the Japanese people that we met on Awajishima were so sweet. I don't think we met a single... There may have been some very rare exceptions, but we met so many lovely old ladies, old men, like, you know, 30s, 40s. You know, not a lot of young people on the island, but like... Everyone was so kind.
I did hear it's the booming island. I thought is that where all the people go now.
No,
it's kind of like the investment island. Like there's a lot of investors.
Oh yeah. There's like
Awajishima.
one company, like a billionaire guy who like invests a lot into
his pet project.
It's kind of his pet
It's
project.
going to be my own island.
Yeah,
he's playing Animal Crossing.
I
IRL.
think he would. Yeah, I think he would buy it if he could, straight up. But
it's a beautiful island, and if you're a Naruto fan and you're in Kobe, I'd be like, go, because I would be like, you should go to the Naruto theme park.
Oh, true, that is there. Yeah,
one of those
And
places
Godzilla
you're
as
like second or third time in Japan.
Yeah. Probably not. I mean, if you're only going to Tokyo or Osaka, like it's kind of out of the way.
Did you have a lot of tourists down there, or not really?
Japanese tourists.
Okay, that makes sense.
There was the one couple that we met that were going to Anime Island.
Yeah, they told us.
That was so awesome.
We were at the bus stop and we were like, "Where are you headed to?" They're like, "Anime Island, of course." And we were like,
where is that?
That's what they're
Our
calling
home.
Awajishima.
Is Anime Islands?
Yeah, because
it's
they
got
have like a park that they've converted into being this kind of anime like style. It's really not an amusement park as much as it's a theme park. Okay. So it has some attractions, some like, you know, anime characters like you can pose with and stuff. So
what's it called again? It's
Nijige no Mori.
Nijige no Mori. Yeah.
All right, well, we can put an image up.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like the Naruto one. Like I'm kind of active guy.
I haven't been there yet, but yeah,
you go and you climb through and like go
obstacle course stuff.
It's quite fun. Then there's the Godzilla zipline as well, and then what else? There's the Crayon Shin-chan one, and we didn't go to that one. That one didn't look.
That's the best one. That sounds like the best one.
Actually, the best one is the Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest.
Yeah. That was the new one. Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. It was like Disney. Yeah, that was super fun.
And there's a lot of things to do on Awajishima besides just the big corporate company that has come in there. There's like a bunch of weird stuff. There's like a guy who like made a shrine to UFOs, and then if you like go, it's like down in a valley. So you go in, it's like he compiled all the weirdest stuff he could think of into this like valley. So you drive in and the first thing you see is like this UFO shrine. And then you go a little bit further and there's a bunch of girls taking pictures because there's a field of like daisies or something, right? Or daffodils. I don't remember.
That's the aliens actually.
Yeah. It's the aliens.
It was all in a weird circle. I don't know what was happening there.
But the Japanese girls loved it for Instagram. So
and like, hey, there's daisies. We'll take it.
If it's a good Instagram shot, it's a good Instagram shot.
It's daisy circles.
But then, okay, truly the weirdest thing is you go a little bit further to the parking and there's this like big shack is the way I could describe it. And it's like a sex museum. Like, but like he's taxidermied very poorly a bunch of tanuki and like
with the balls.
No, he like put like
he actually like
wooden
real
phallic,
ones.
Yeah, he like inserted into the taxidermy like phallic like wooden sculptures into these tanuki.
It's like a whole new kind of autism.
Yeah,
it's like this guy's inventing new ways.
His hyperfixations go wild.
Of hyperfixation.
And then the walls are just like plastered with like old like 80s and 90s like porno, like Japanese porno and some American. And I'm like, but it was great. And they like had like souvenirs too. As it was like kaleidoscopes where you could look through, but you would see like porn. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's there in Awajishima.
Yeah.
So there's options after YouTube. You can do gravestones.
Gravestones?
Or artistic porn.
Or
That's
artistic
true.
porn.
That's
There's
true.
a lot of people
Now I got
who-
choices.
They don't even wait until after YouTube to get into
Fair enough. It's like
Yeah,
my
Not us.
my
Not
dream.
clear.
My
Stop
dream.
looking for it.
Stop looking for it. Stop making it with AI. Yeah, there's also the dolphins. Oh, we didn't go there. There's a monkey park. It's actually a really quite good monkey park.
They were
There.
mean though.
They
Those
made the
monkeys.
monkeys.
The monkeys are.
Monkeys are always mean.
Monkeys are mean to each other.
But
I actually have a hilarious story when I first was in Japan. It was like half a year in 2018 during internship, and so first time in Japan, my parents came over to pick me up. My family came over to pick me up. So we did like a 3-week trip. Like I had already like finished work, and I was like, saying goodbye to everyone. And so we did like a trip. So we went to like the classic one, like Kyoto and everything. But we also did a road trip to the Shizuoka, like the Hanto. What is it? Izu Hanto is like the. What is a peninsula is,
Yeah,
is the word I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for. And so they're like famous there for having like a lot of monkeys there. And so we got this super sick Airbnb, which I've checked. I wanted to go there again. It's always rented out, like super in advance. It's like this crazy glass box that's like on a cliff in the forest that's looking out on the ocean with like a wooden terrace.
Oh, it's
super sick.
crazy.
It's
Wow.
so cool. So we got this. We bought like stuff for breakfast. We were setting the table outside, put like some, we put like butter out and like everything that we got, bread, bananas. We go inside, keep preparing stuff. Suddenly my sister starts screaming. She's like, what? I'm like, what's going on? I run outside. There's this, I swear, like 6 foot tall monkey gathering.
Bigfoot.
He was like huge, like gathering our breakfast and like grabbing the bananas. And like usually, as you probably know, so usually what you're being told is like, if you meet a monkey, just like leave them alone, give them what you want. My dad was like, nah. So he grabbed a chair and started fighting with the monkey for the bananas.
Your dad with the steel chair.
My dad was like, dude, I paid good money for those bananas,
That's
and I'm not gonna give them to
Don't,
you.
if there's one thing I know, don't fight a monkey for a
No.
banana.
Yeah.
Okay,
But he won.
Are you
the monkey left? Yeah.
That's like next level bragging
Yeah,
rights.
I was like, that was dumb, but also respect.
You did it. If you did it, you did it.
My
That's
mom was
like-
like, just let him give him the fucking
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
I can't.
See, well, our monkeys, like, they put us in the cage. We were in the cage, and they were like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they were
yeah.
getting food from us.
Yeah,
like,
you're
through
not
the
gave it to
supposed to
them.
feed
cage.
them unless you go in the cage, and you can feed them through the cage.
the cage.
And the big monkeys were the worst bullies.
Oh, yeah?
They were just like, they would literally smack the little ones or like grab them or throw them off like for the food, and they would just like bump right into them. All the little guys were like all scared, and it was really kind of like, it was like, damn, they are
Crazy.
getting treated pretty
And I
rough
think
here.
it explains a lot about human nature to watch these monkeys.
It's true.
I'm
It's
like,
true.
oh, that's
Like,
how we
that's
got
us.
here.
That's
That's
us.
how
Yeah.
we
You
got here.
bullied me so much. It's yeah.
I'm the big monkey.
the big monkey.
Who's the big monkey in your relationship?
Yeah, forget the pants.
Put
You know, I
it
think
in the comments.
Who's your big monkey? Yeah.
That's so cool though.
But I think they
That's
also
fun.
have the whirlpools on the south side.
Yeah, the Naruto whirlpools.
Oh, the famous ones.
Have you
I
ever
do want to
been?
see those. No, I do want to see them.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty cool.
The day we went, they were just little
Yeah,
like
they're not big.
Aw.
like bathroom.
Do they get
drain.
like really, really big though?
They
Apparently
can get pretty big.
during
yeah.
certain like seasons.
Crazy.
Don't ask me when, but
Yeah.
apparently
There's like flooding rain season
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
There's the town called Naruto, which is around there.
Oh,
It's
that's a
just
thing?
south in Tokyo.
Is that what the story's named after? No, it's it's named after
Naruto is
the
'cause the little
after
fish kids,
the fish cake thing. Yeah.
But and then they named that Naruto, and then we went. You can go out on the on like a ship, so you can
Oh, I
actually
see
go
that.
out
Goes
on that
right
and you
over
can see
these.
it, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That just reminds me very randomly, but it's not Japan, it's Norway, I think. Have you ever seen that thumbnail on YouTube? It keeps getting recommended. It's like the beautiful nature of Norway or something, and it's this top-down, like drone view of these like whirlpools,
giant whirlpool.
giant
Oh my
whirlpools with like the ship going in between.
What is that one like?
Yeah.
Like there was like a meme for a while about the Black Sea, and it was what was it? No, the North Sea that was like yo ho.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this one song that every like sea edit uses to like
yeah. And
like
it was
a pirate shanty.
like all the horror TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
They were all like using a scary sound for like the sea and like
Yeah.
thalassophobia.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
have
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I do. I don't. I think so. I actually know why I have it. So when I was, I think it was like 14, 15, and we were in Italy for vacation, and I wanted to do. They offered like a diving course, and I was like, I want to do a diving course, and I was like the super hyperactive kid. So my parents was like, yeah, you do you, son. And I pay like 200 euros. They were like, and have fun for a week,
Yeah.
right? And we don't need to worry about you.
Please leave us alone.
So like at the first they take you like in the pool and stuff, and I had like a blast. I love diving and just seeing all the fish and stuff. So for my license, so I had to get to do the exam. It was crazy stormy, and they took us out on this boat with my diving instructor. It was super stormy. I was like, whatever. We went into the water. He was already like, it's probably gonna be fine, but in case like the storm gets worse, we're gonna head back to the boat. It's kind of a little bit dangerous. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I'm 14. I got this figured out, right? And so we go in the water. He's like, follow me, and I follow him, and then he stops and goes like, keep going. So I keep going, and at some point I turn around and he's gone, and the ship's gone, and I'm like, well,
what?
fuck. So it's the super stormy ocean. It's like kind of like very like dark, like all the sand and like the sediment has been like kind of washed, poured up, right? So you can't see anything.
Yeah.
So I think I stayed fairly calm in the situation. I was like, in the worst case, I'm just gonna try and make it to land
Yeah.
and just climb up.
I'm gonna
First of all,
I'm gonna make a warm stuff.
14-year-old doing
Yeah.
a diving sort of. I
Yeah.
didn't even know you could
I
do
didn't
that.
even do that. That's
I don't know if that was I don't know.
bravery to begin with.
But
I would have made a warm spot.
yeah.
I think.
But yeah, I mean, I in the end I tried turning
You died,
around.
actually.
I died, and actually yes,
So
and,
this is
and
AI.
this is
Tragic.
actually not real. Yes.
Okay, 2 out of the 3 of us.
It's just
Let us
Megan.
know in the comments
Just
who you
Megan.
think is AI.
Megan has
I've been
secretly been
talking to
cooking
myself.
up. Yeah,
This is like my machination.
could be.
Could be. And
But
the
I
big
think, yeah.
2026. Yeah.
Like even though I dived up back to the surface, and then I saw the boat in the distance, and then like the diving instructor was like, "Ah, fuck, I thought I lost you," and my mom was like very angry.
Did you get a refund?
I don't actually know.
Oh.
I don't know. But even though this kind of like I think in the moment I was pretty chill, but ever since I really I don't like open water where you don't like where it's black
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a mix between that experience and watching too many like sea creature, sea monster movies where I'm just like,
What's that
I don't
one
know.
game? The game that's like deep
Oh, yeah,
ocean
yeah, yeah.
exploration. It's like
the
Thalassophobia, the game,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
Oh, with like the leviathans
Yeah,
and
with the
everything.
Leviathan.
Yeah. Deep something.
There's a couple of
Love
them.
in
Yeah.
deep space.
Well,
Love in Deep
we're,
Space.
we're an hour in and we've learned your deepest trauma, so that's good. That's good.
Love in Deep Space. Subnautica, which I totally didn't just look up.
Good memory. Good memory, bro.
Is the game. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't. Sorry. Yeah, you were. How do we get to
Thalassophobia.
the whirlpools?
Are you gonna
Yeah.
Go scuba diving in the whirlpools.
True.
No, I will say when we saw them, you're in this big boat that just is easily gliding over them.
Yeah.
But you're thinking like, this would have been scary if I was in a little wooden like dinghy, like
Yeah.
back in the day.
Like 400
I guess.
years ago.
Yeah, like a bamboo raft or whatever. I could see that being intimidating.
Kind of scary.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something I didn't know that existed. Yeah, I got to check those
Yeah.
out. But you would say you do enjoy Tokyo now a little bit more.
I think for
Yeah.
living, I think like you said, I think it was fun as a visiting kind of place, you know?
Or maybe like for the summer,
Yeah,
like for
well,
like a month.
I'm glad we were there for a time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that we spent that time in the Inaka, in the countryside, to like fully understand that experience.
Yeah.
Mm.
Gives us mad countryside clout.
There's also clout.
I will say I'm a little bit jealous. So I mean, I think you can't compare Munich and Tokyo, but I did grow up in the city and then I moved to a bigger city.
Right.
I think Tokyo literally just stopped being the biggest city in the world. I think just Jakarta just overtook it or something.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
telling Ben about that. Yeah.
But still, like almost 40 million people is like absolutely insane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this very romantic idea that I think I want to have a little farmhouse somewhere in the mountains and just do like some farming and then do a little bit of YouTube and then just, watch the sunset over the forest.
Oh my gosh.
But then I'm like, probably I'm kidding myself because then you're probably there for like a month and then you're like, I want to have McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
like,
you need
there
to,
are bugs.
Yeah.
What the hell?
and then you need to like drive 2.5 hours to
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was ironic because we were like literally next to a bunch of farms and we were like playing Stardew Valley like every day when we
Yeah,
came home.
We were like, maybe the game is a little bit more fun than
It's a
actually
little
doing it in
more
real life.
romantic.
Farming is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I do think like I would like to, I don't know, live in nature. But at the same time, it's just Tokyo offers so much. And every time I think like, oh, would it be fun moving a little bit into the countryside? And it's like, But then if you want to travel back home and see family or family wants to visit you, it's like this whole ordeal where you first have to spend half a day getting to the airport and then you do take the flight over and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely easiest for like family to get to Tokyo.
Yes.
But that aside, like in terms of like pure vibes, would you move to a different city in Japan? Is there a city you like more than Tokyo?
I do like Tokyo quite a lot, I will say. But there are cities I think I could definitely imagine living in Kyoto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, having like even if it's like a tiny little apartment somewhere like around Gion or something would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And I mean, now I guess you need an
Beautiful
apartment to
place.
even get into Gion.
Yeah, I guess
At this
so,
point.
right?
Yeah, I have one of my Japanese friends who joked that Kyoto is part of China now because there's just so many Chinese tourists there,
Crazy.
and it's just like endless. It's
Just
a
in general,
sea.
so many tourists.
Yeah,
it's
so many
crazy.
tourists.
Well, I guess now they're not there anymore.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
At the moment.
Not from China.
Not
Yeah.
from China, yeah.
But yeah, I think Kyoto is beautiful. I love the art, and I love that it's like the only Japanese city where they still make it a point when they build new houses to actually partly at least build in like the traditional wooden style, and it's like so beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I understand that it's a fire hazard, and it's just maybe like it's somewhere between can't and won't because it's just more like cheaper probably to build with concrete or something in Tokyo. But I think it's almost a shame that like, in Tokyo there's not more modern buildings with, more of a Japanese touch to them because
Yeah.
Kyoto rocks that.
That's
partly,
something
yeah.
I love is like one of my favorite stays. Like we've had the privilege to stay at a lot of really nice ryokan and like hotels and stuff, but I honestly really enjoyed staying at a converted machiya, the merchant houses.
Oh yeah,
That's the long one.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
this one, it was like long and it had like a little courtyard and then it was 2 floors. So it had like all the futon kind of stuff on the second floor, but it was so beautiful. I was like, I could live here, especially going back to our dingy little apartment at Awajishima back then. I was like desperate to be out of the house whenever I could,
Yeah.
And so I was like in this machiya, I was like, my life could be this. Like I could just stay here. And it was
the little
gorgeous.
courtyard with like the water thing going like every like minute.
Yes, literally. Literally. And then you have like the bath, like that opens, like a window opens out to the courtyard. I was like,
Sakura blossoms are falling.
Yes,
It's like
yeah.
literally
Kyoto does have that vibe. If you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me was being in Japan while COVID was happening and there were no tourists allowed.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
I went to
that was nice.
Kyoto
We caught it.
twice.
That was
nice.
so good.
It
We
was
caught
pretty
it
crazy.
right before, I think like a month before
Yeah,
Japan ended up
yeah.
opening. We ended up going to
Nice.
Kyoto on my little English teacher salary. So we didn't ball out, but we did get to enjoy it before it.
Still, like just being
went
able to go
crazy.
to all these places when it's not. And to be fair, it was never empty. There were still
No.
like Japanese tourists plenty,
Yeah.
but it was like you could walk around. There was like enough space and everything.
Yeah, I feel like now I think people should go to Arashiyama. Like we were just there like a couple months ago, and it was so nice, and it reminded at least me of that that experience, or where it's
Interesting.
like, yes, there's tourists and stuff. Like there's always going to be
There's a
tourists,
main
but
tourist drag for sure.
yeah,
I
but
went
it's like
a year and a half ago, and it
Mhm.
was super overrun. Hiroshima.
okay, yeah.
Really?
Interesting.
When we just went, there were people there, but it wasn't as crazy as Kyoto. And there's obviously there's this beautiful river there, and you can go out on the river. We went on the river, and there was like a boat, and you can get snacks on the
Yeah.
boat from the other boats, and it's just a super some of the best matcha in the world, and it's like right next to Kyoto too. So it's
There's also,
Definitely
which
recommend
I
that.
mean, sadly I haven't gone to, but apparently there's a really famous 3-star sushi restaurant there, like one of the most
Ooh.
famous,
Oh, really?
yeah, like sushi chefs in Japan.
we missed
Yeah.
out.
Is there?
I just
Yeah.
feel like because you have this like river cutting through, and I guess you could say this about downtown Kyoto too, because they also have the river.
With the Kamo River.
Yeah. But because you have that, it kind of like can alleviate some of the congestion a bit.
Yeah, and there's
Mm.
there's pockets obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So Kyoto, I think I always love going, even
Yeah.
when you end up in the more touristy
I
areas.
agree.
But there's just so many like nice pockets along the rivers, particularly with
Yeah.
like little cafes. And
Yeah.
The only thing is, I guess in the winter it gets really cold, and in the summer it gets really hot because it's in the valley
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Gets some more
so,
snow.
Yeah, Kyoto, I could imagine. I really like Hiroshima actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It has like I think in Japan it has a very unique vibe, and I can't really put my finger on why that is.
Yeah.
There's some juju on it too.
Very
There's-
chill. Yeah,
Yeah,
good vibes.
Yeah.
More chill probably than you would
Yeah.
expect, right?
Yeah.
When I was there, I was so struck, and I don't think you've had the
No, I've
chance
never
to go
been,
there
yeah.
yet. But when I was there, I was struck by the fact that I was like, wow, like the layout is so like car centric comparatively. Because I mean, you think about it, like they built back up as cars were.
What?
I think, why? Just for funsies. We're Americans. We can't get into that. We can't.
So anyway, let's talk about anime.
Anime. Not political.
But I think
It's not.
anime famously,
I
One
don't think
Piece
anime
famously
can
not
be
political.
political. Yeah.
But they have like the tram system there, like
Yeah.
little trains, and like I think 2 rivers that flow
And
through
like
the city.
Miyajima is right.
So, yeah.
Miyajima's
The
gorgeous.
people are so I like, not that I think people in Japan in general, I think fairly nice, and then I guess Tokyo has like a little bit its own vibe, and Kyoto has like its own vibe, and Osaka too. But I don't know, like when like all the people I talked to in Hiroshima had like this so chill, open, yeah, very like like culturally like very interested.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, because I guess you could say that about, I think Japanese people broadly are very culturally interested, but
Yeah.
just very unique. It felt like very non-Japanese in like a very special
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People in the South tend to be more like open to that
Yeah.
kind of thing, even if they don't speak any English or anything like
Yeah.
that. Like they tend to be like a little bit more friendly, at least in my
I,
experience. Friendly from an American perspective, where what I mean is loud, you know,
Yeah,
and like a
loud.
little bit more like expressive,
less
and stuff
concerned
like that.
about
You know.
formality for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Kansai is like
Awajishima was just like that. Like
Nice.
I feel like even our landlord coming and talking to us at all, like
Yeah.
looking back, that's actually kind of surprising.
Mhm.
There's a fantastic book that I keep recommending people who live here and who are like struggling a little bit, whether it's like relationships or just assimilating to Japan.
Mhm.
It's called The Culture Map.
Mm.
And it basically kind of it's written by this lady who usually does business consulting for like international companies, but
Yeah.
it like she wrote this book, it applies to like just everyday life, and she kind of takes certain aspects of culture where you maybe think it's a people thing, but it's actually a culture thing, and kind of
Right.
scales like countries on that scale. So for example, you would take like communication and direct versus indirect. And so America would obviously be like almost on the extreme of how direct you can communicate. And then Japan is like the most indirect communicating
Yeah.
country. And then if you're like Germany, you're like also fairly direct, but then America would feel more direct to you as a German in respect.
Yeah.
So very
yeah.
interesting. And then like, I learned so much about it also, like about like relationships and how like Japanese people, you know, like approach dating, for example, but also I just learned a lot about American culture too, because even though you guys communicate so directly and are like so open and just say what you think, you have like a very different feedback culture, surprisingly, because in Germany, so we like when it comes to feedback, we're like on the extreme. We're like when we think something is bad, we say it's bad, and if I ask someone for feedback, I will expect them to say this is shit, do it again,
Yeah.
but in a German accent, right?
Yeah.
Do it again.
While I didn't realize that you guys give crazy indirect feedback in the States, where it's like, oh, say a lot of positive stuff and then give the feedback at the
Yeah,
end.
that's true.
That is-
Sugarcoating is
Yeah.
a huge.
There's the sandwich method.
Yeah.
It's like a very American thing where it's like, hey man, you did such a good job. I just wanted to say I had one tweak, but also you're great and you're awesome.
Yeah.
But there's one tweak. And I feel like most people will get that.
And that's the whole thing, yes.
Yeah, it's like,
and so the book talked about like this French lady who went to America.
Yeah.
And like the author recommended her.
Yeah.
And then the guy who she was working for called her and she's like, she's doing a terrible job. We keep giving her feedback and she's not getting it. And then the French lady was like, oh yeah, they keep saying how great I am.
That's funny.
So yeah, so I thought that was so interesting. Yeah. So little things like that. So I do recommend the book. We can probably just put a link in the description or like put it on screen. But yeah, like if you guys are curious too, it's like very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it talks about like punctuality. You know, like how like a lot of countries have this more like, oh yeah, 10 minutes late, and some countries have like, if I'm like within an hour, it's on time.
Right.
Well, like Japan and Germany are actually very similar in that regard to like, you want to be on time.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. I feel like Americans are on traffic time.
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
LA time.
Because you always have an excuse. You're like,
traffic.
Late, it's no big deal.
Yeah. But I think it's just cool, I think, like living abroad in a culture you're maybe not that familiar with. And just like being aware that certain things are like, I think once you realize what is culture and what's people individually, it kind of helps you a lot. Because I feel like sometimes you can be irritated by something when you just don't realize that that's just how, people live their lives in general.
Yeah, or just like knowing the reason behind it. Like some of the like keeping the peace here was explained to me as well. This like island is an island that's prone to earthquakes and volcanoes and stuff. So when your bamboo ass house, gets toppled by an earthquake and your entire community has to rebuild, it's really important that you and your neighbors are like, cool, so that you're helping each other.
There's a poli-sci major here.
Yeah, or like even evacuating, that everyone's like able to follow along and not hold back the group.
Right. So I think learning that, like, it gives you more, I guess, empathy and like just understanding for why it is the way it is, because you're gonna have moments where you run up into that and you're like, this is so stupid, like just do it this way, like this is the way more efficient way. But then you realize like, oh, actually, even though I don't have to agree with it, or I still think it's like inefficient or stupid as hell, like I don't care, but at the end of the day, it's something like historically that's made sense, and they've like really integrated
a reason
that
for it.
It's crazy how much
culture is just like, it's kind of just an amalgamation of all of the preferences and history of one country, right?
And also like geography and everything.
Yeah, like we said, architecture as well.
Yeah, architecture. I mean, even for the US, like if you look at the US and Japan, it kind of makes sense because Japan is this country that had like barely any like foreign influence for like forever. And so people would get really good at kind of like reading subtleties and nuances, and you kind of create this whole culture around, again, harmony, but then also like having to read the air, right?
Right, and like a caste system.
While
like,
you guys are like this conglomerate of like cultures from all over the world, and so it was probably a lot more important for people to communicate quickly and very openly and directly, because there were so many cultures clashing that the best way to communicate was just like say what you think and say what's up. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Since run that back, but
it's not working out the best right now, but
it's going great. You guys are getting bigger.
So much bigger.
The southern and the northern expansion is going great.
I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, this is
so many new places you guys can move to now.
I'm tired of living through historical times.
It's kind of crazy. I think like for like the last, there was like a period like right during and after COVID where I was like, and I think a lot of people have this, where I was like, kind of ashamed that how crazy the world has gotten.
Yeah.
But when you really zoom out, kind of like the 30 years in between were kind of like the crazy years, like the 90s and 2000s, where things were like so open and everything was like kind of like going forward.
Yeah.
It's now kind of just gone back to how it's kind of always been. To look at it. Yeah,
I remember thinking recently, I was like, dang, you know when you like read your history textbook or whatever in high school, and you're like, you read about the time period that's like the Great Dark Period, and you're like, dang, sucks to be somebody living in that. And then you're like living now, and you're like, am I living through the Great Dark Period? Ah, damn it!
Are we
Like,
in the bad?
The Great AI Awakening.
Yeah, am I in the bad place?
No, I mean, we're in the craziest time. There's no time in history there's been anything remotely what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
And like, to me, I don't know, there's part of that where I'm like, you know, we're all living through it together. We all obviously don't agree on things, and we're not nice to each other most of the time. But I do like the idea that, like, okay, there is something special about the fact that we were all born at this crazy, bizarre time in history where we've gone from modems, like dial-up internet and stuff like that, to talking to your AI assistant and stuff like that. And who
in
knows
like
the next
25 years, or like 30
no
years.
time at
Kind of
all,
crazy,
you know?
And I would say we were like the last people to really experience the like
Offline
full
world.
transition of like, you know, nobody has computers at their house to,
How
you know,
old are
everybody
you?
has this big brick. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm turning 30 this year.
Oh yeah,
so
kind
you're
of
29.
in the same.
I am
In your
29.
20s?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. I'm mentally preparing myself for the transition, as you can
Soft
tell.
launching your
Yeah.
That's what you've been saying.
Yeah.
She says I'm almost 30. And like,
Almost
you're
30, and then people
27.
say you
Yeah,
look so
I mean-
good for your age. I said, I
It's like,
know.
I remember I must have been like 14 or
Yeah.
something, or 15 when we got very shitty Wi-Fi at our place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
And everybody has
finally,
like the family
crazy.
computer,
Yeah.
like the big, you know, brick, like in
Yeah,
the living
yeah.
room or whatever in the office that, you know, you got to go on for like 30 minutes and play Club Penguin or whatever,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Only playing Club Penguin and nothing else.
I played Stronghold Crusader.
not doing
Stronghold
not
Crusade.
doing anything else on the
Age
on
of
the home
Empires.
computer.
Yeah.
All the Flash games, like what is it, Age of War? where it was,
Yeah.
like, the,
We had Minesweeper. I had
Minesweeper, great.
Larry the Cucumber. I had
Of course you did.
Minnesota Cuke. Anyone? Okay, Minnesota Cuke people.
Nice.
Yeah,
the
it was
five of you.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, all
Jones.
five of
Five
us.
of you. Yeah, no. What was your favorite like internet game from the early 2000s?
Oh, that's a toughie. So I really liked Stronghold Crusader.
Says a lot about you, so be
Yeah.
careful how you
Yeah.
answer. This
Yeah.
is maybe my most important question.
Judging your character.
Well, I mean, I think from the early 2000s. So I didn't play it. I only started playing it when I was like 15, 16. But the game that I played the most, and it is technically from the early 2000s, is Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
What is that?
interesting.
That's how I learned
didn't even know
English.
They had an MMO. You
That's
were
how,
like-
dude, I was gaming. I was like
That's
talking to people.
sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Dude, this was that was for me. That
Yeah.
blasted my vocabulary through the roof.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was like so insane because I'm like a massive like Tolkien head.
Yeah.
I like these are like my favorite books
Yeah.
and my favorite movies, right? So I like I'm very deep on like all the lore stuff. And so when I discovered that there was a game where you could run around in like it's kind of like the design, if you don't know it, is like kind of based on World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
like MMO.
MMO.
Yeah. So like open world, I tried diving back into it because like for nostalgia reasons, I'm like I don't have time. There's too much to do, but they keep expanding it. It's like an insanely
It's still
big.
going?
It's still going,
That's
and it's this
insane.
beautiful, insanely huge. They did all of Middle Earth basically,
That's
and they keep
Wow.
expanding it. It's fantastic, and so yeah, I have like a very. I just remember like I was like gaming, and then I was terrible like thinking about it. Like I was playing the game, just like farming levels, and I was like watching soccer on the side or like listening
You
to it.
were early to brain
Yeah,
rot.
bro.
Yeah,
Brain
dude,
rot.
for real. But it
Heck
did
yeah.
help with my English. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
that's
come to think of
awesome.
it, I definitely had a lot of Europeans in my like Minecraft Skype calls. and stuff
Nice.
that were
Oh
like,
yeah,
for
let's
sure.
go.
You
For
you were
sure.
on Egg Cave, is that right?
That's such a niche one.
Okay,
Just
what
say
else? You-
Neopets.
Yeah, okay.
Neopets.
Neopets.
Yeah.
I did a lot of them. I did a
Yeah.
lot of them. I did
You're a
Wii
gamer.
World. I had to escape reality somehow.
The
Webkins.
2008 recession hit her pretty
Yeah,
hard.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
You lost a lot of
Yeah.
property there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
she
parents
was-
couldn't save for college, but they could buy me a Webkins. That's for sure.
Yeah, all
So-
her investment properties when she was 12 or whatever.
Everything with Deutsche Bank. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not great.
Deutsche
Yeah.
I should have invested early.
That's true.
But yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
otherwise, I was a pretty big Nintendo kid.
Yeah,
like
Nintendo.
the first
Yeah,
game
yeah,
I
yeah.
ever played, like period, was probably Pokemon Leaf Green. Yeah.
Leaf
Oh,
Green.
yeah.
Yeah,
Classic.
I broke my leg when I was in 3rd grade skiing,
Yeah.
and so actually I broke my leg while skiing, and my dad did not believe me I was injured. He thought I was just too lazy to go
And you wanted to
down,
play-
and he was I was like, I can't, and he was like, stand up and drive down. I was like, I can't, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna. He was like taking me on his back, driving down. He was so pissed. He was like, dude, just because you're so tired. And then when I didn't stop crying, I was like, okay, maybe we should check this out. So it was broken, and then I think he felt really bad. So he actually after I got surgery, he actually got me like the Game Boy Advance.
A win is a win.
Oh,
Yeah.
A win
and,
is a
and
win.
I was
We
fucking
take those.
A win
and I
is
was
a
like
As a
win.
lost.
kid-
So yeah, everything like mostly Pokemon stuff, but I also like play like Kingdom Hearts for like the
Yeah.
GBA was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Yeah, Fire
Yeah,
Emblem.
Fire and Leaf Green, great
Yeah, so
remakes. Great
So good.
remakes.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
still clean. You're a big Pokemon guy too.
You did the video,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
that's
Pokemon
right.
video.
That
Yeah,
was so fun.
you went to all the Pokemon locations.
Yeah. See, Pokemon wasn't my first one. It was Nintendogs. I think was my very
That was
first
so great.
Nintendo.
a proper girl game.
Was it for
Okay.
Nintendo DS? The one?
Yeah,
yeah.
I got the Nintendogs DS.
I was doing it
the
too with the
old
Frisbee.
clunky, yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
clunky
good.
one where like the mic was broken and you were supposed to talk to
Yeah.
the dogs, but it could not understand.
Oh, and you
So
could do the
were like,
balloons and stuff.
And you like say sit, and then it would play it back to you. It was like, "Rat!" And you're like, I didn't think I sounded like that. Damn. The mic was so bad. So yeah,
No, I think the mic was fine, Megan. Actually,
it's just me.
Not as
might
good
have
as
been you
these.
going through the
Just me.
voice breaking.
So yeah, we I think my first Pokemon game I had myself because my cousins had Pokemon. They were my influencers back in the
Nice.
day. It was the older cousins.
I think I think that a lot of people can relate
Yeah,
to that. Yeah, your
yeah.
siblings or your cousins.
because
being
I'm the
big
eldest.
influencers.
I'm the
Yes.
eldest daughter.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know the eldest child. So I didn't have the like,
to the throne.
the heir to the
Sure.
throne, if you will. And
Sure.
so I didn't have anybody else to look up to except for my cousins. My cousins were
that's
about 4
right.
years older than me. They were playing Pokemon before I could like read. I was like, that looks cute. Can I play that, please? And they were like, sure, kid. Just don't delete my save.
And
I
you did.
Probably did. But then I got my own Pokemon Diamond, and that was my very first one I had myself, and I
Yeah.
played.
Pearl better.
Oh, excuse me, but blue is better.
I don't
I'm
have a
just
dog
saying.
in this fight. We played
Um,
it together though.
we
You-
did.
You had me play it, and we played it together, and that's a banger game.
It is a banger game,
Banger
but
game.
I think like most kids, I just had the two Pokemon in the beginning. You have your like starter, and then your starter
And a
becomes like,
doof.
super like OP. Like you like level it up to
Doof.
like level 70.
Yeah.
And so I had a Piplup and a Luxray, and they were my goats, and they brought me
Luxray
through
is
that.
dope.
They brought me through that entire game.
Yeah,
Nice.
my brother got me after we had gone to like a Goodwill or something, like a secondhand store, and we got these Game Boy Pockets, and they were like antiques at that point. So we were like, do these things even work? And he got me Pokemon Gold, the original, and I played hundreds of hours of that.
Oh,
That was my
yeah.
Good
first
one.
system. It was before I was even into Melee or anything like that.
Are you guys aware? So I've recently avoided spending a lot of money on something very dumb. But there is a whole like Game Boy GBA, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS modding community.
The emulators?
Yeah,
Like
well,
the-
they're not.
the-
No, they're
the
not.
systems
They're
or
like
mods?
real ones, and they basically they put in better sound systems. Better.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I saw this recently.
And so I saw this guy who was like modding like the flip one, right? The
Yeah,
Game Boy
yeah, yeah.
Advance, and made it like see through and like super fancy OLED screen and everything, and like it's super. And I was like, looked at the price tag and it was like $500. I'm like, I want this so bad, and I was
Yeah.
like, don't do it, don't.
Yeah.
And I actually I was like, I can't
You
can't
didn't
afford to
fold.
spend $500
didn't fold.
on a Game Boy.
Good for you.
Good
Good
for
for you.
you.
But like my inner child was screaming, oh, I want
You're
this
like, I'm
so
my dad,
bad.
damn it.
Yeah. I was like,
Screw you, fiscal responsibility.
for real.
Oh
It's
my
no
gosh.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I would say that it was weird being a Pokemon fan as a girl, like age 10
Really?
because like that was not. It was
not a
like
thing,
it was
right?
like being into anime back in like what 2010. It's like you
You're into
kept
both.
you
See,
kept
I
that ship to yourself.
I can
you
relate
know?
to that since I got into anime during university.
Oh,
Very
I didn't
late.
know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
That
yeah.
is late for somebody with an anime channel.
Yeah,
that is
correct.
rather
But then
late.
I caught up
You
very
Yeah,
fast.
Yeah, clearly.
I went like this and then I dove in.
Yeah, you had exponential anime
Yeah,
growth
yeah,
because
yeah.
no, I kept that shit in the closet. Like I was
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah.
that the other day, like
Closeted
anime
Anime
fan.
fan.
But even more than that, like Nintendo fan, like Pokemon fan. I remember telling like this group of girls in 5th grade that I played Pokemon, and you would think I just confessed to them that I was like lesbian, like the way that I was like
In 2010.
yeah, 2010. In 2010, yeah, I was like, guys, I have to tell you something.
They're like, don't
big
hate the
secret.
sinner.
Yeah, don't
hate
hate the sinner.
sin.
Yeah.
I luckily didn't have that experience
That's
because
good.
I think the friend group I had, like one of my friends in my elementary school, he was like the cool kid. He was like the worst kid, right? So he got everything from both his parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 Christmases.
And he was, I guess, he was the trendsetter, and he was super into like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like
Yeah,
Game Boy
yeah.
stuff and so on and so forth. So I think like that was, I don't know, I never grew up with like the stigma around it really.
Yeah.
We even like
That's great.
yeah. There was like this is not a thing. This might maybe for some German viewers. There was something called Diddle, which is like this comic mouse.
Whoa. We're gonna talk about that
Diddle.
on the podcast.
It's a mouse. I can show you
Okay,
the Diddle
Epstein
mouse.
list.
Yeah.
Like,
Now
it's
that
really
I think
popular.
about it,
It's really popular on this one island.
now that I
Of
think about it,
course.
so it's this mouse.
Okay.
And so basically the
It
thing
does look
was,
like
it's
it's
come
diddling.
back actually in Germany, at least I've
Yeah.
heard. What you did do, you had these blocks of paper that you'd collect, and each of them would have like a unique smell.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like usually like a very girly thing, but for some reason it got very big. He has like one smells like roses and one smells like like strawberries. So you'd rub it and like it's
What does the mouse do with it?
So you're telling
it's just
me
a
that
branding element.
Okay.
Diddle is a mouse that rubs little smells on
Yeah,
little
and
kids.
it puts good smell out.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah. So anyways, they look like this.
And
So
the
we can
founder,
put some up on screen.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Exactly.
Made
And
fun-
you could win a prize, but you could go to this tropical island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, like that was considered like a very girl thing to do, like
Yeah.
collecting these. It's kind of like collecting stickers, I guess.
Yeah.
And like that for
That's
some reason
cute.
also just became very big, like amongst the guys. Like everyone had it.
Mm,
So I don't know. I think I got maybe a little bit lucky with the
That's good.
year
That's
because
awesome.
yeah.
Maybe Germany
Yeah.
was more open to such things as well. I feel
Yeah.
like
I wonder.
Midwestern American was like very like, no, your interests are like
Interesting.
horses and I don't even know,
Guns.
like
Guns and horses.
He's laughing because
Guns and roses.
Oh, you wouldn't be. People aren't interested in guns, right?
Oh no. I'm aware. I have been very aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool though. I feel like I'm always like I rejoice at hearing people's bully stories in America because I've always just had interaction with that. Not saying there is no
Yeah.
bullying in Europe.
He
right?
rejoices in bullying,
Obviously,
is what
like-
he's saying.
But like hearing these stories, I was like, oh, that's just Hollywood. Was that to me? Like no one's gonna be like, you're reading like fucking
freaking
comics.
nerd.
You like Legos?
I'm gonna
Into the
put you
toilet
in your. I'm gonna put you in your client. Go in here.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of my like high school experience was like nobody can know I'm a Minecraft mod. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Now you'd be
not
king of
even-
the class.
Yeah,
Now you're the
literally, right?
coolest kid
no,
in
I
town.
was like babysitting this girl. I was as I was like 18 and she was like 12 and she's like, do you want to play Minecraft on my iPad with my friends? I was like, you can do that like openly. You can just do that. Like she was like a popular girl for a class. I was like,
Nice.
are you sure this isn't like social suicide for you? Because like we did not do this back in my day. But
And
yeah.
she's like, no, that's how I climbed to the top.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, have you seen my automatic farm in Minecraft?
What?
Everybody loves
my
me.
chicken
Infinite
factory.
iron.
Your infinite chicken
Infinite,
farm.
infinite grilled chicken.
Yeah. The one thing we haven't gotten into is Roblox.
No, I'm scared of Roblox.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's like
There's some weird dark shit that
it's-
goes on
Yeah.
there. I do
Such-
not like that.
I think I'm keeping my hands away from that. Especially it's like for kids. Yeah.
No.
It's like gigantic for like One Piece stuff too.
Oh yeah. There's enough other actual good games that I can play that I don't need to.
There's a lot of modding. It's like the new Gary's mod.
It's all modding,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, it's like
true.
all.
But it's like targeted as like
games, right?
younger kids, right? So yeah. No, I'm very sus. It feels like one of those things where like in 2 years there's gonna be like this big reveal that it's actually like
it's like run by a dark, like
or
the
whatever.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're back. Quick break. So from the gaming topic, I do want to get a little bit more into your content. I think what's the story behind your channel? I'm actually kind of curious because I think I know the rough story, but I don't know like the sweet details, and I'm kind of curious to hear your rise to power in the world in the worlds of shorts.
Well. Yeah.
I wish it gave us more power. I feel like I get these like 12-year-olds coming up to me and they're like, "You're my inspiration." I'm like, "Oh no." Oh, what? Oh. I'm where I used to be. Like, So basically when we moved to Awajishima, I was like, how do we like communicate to all of our family what we're going through right now? And it just so happens there's a very useful tool in social media that you can just put together a bunch of your clips from your life and just kind of explain what's going on through a short. Because the thing is about long form is like, as wonderful as it is, that takes work, to be honest, we have an editor like long form, for long videos, because it's hard.
It is, yeah.
It's really hard to like put together a 20-minute video or 30-minute, or God forbid,
especially
however long this ends up. Shout out to the editors.
Shout out. Especially when you're working a job and you have and we had talked about making videos when we moved, and we technically made a couple, I think, that aren't visible anymore.
We made like very first ones, just like documenting our journey, really for like friends and family. It was us. Like
I got real bad diarrhea today.
I wish.
No, you literally, Mr. Coke Plus over here.
Oh, Coke Plus. Yeah, that was kind of the beginning. My adventures, my misadventures with
the fiber Coke,
the fiber-filled Coke in Japan. But those were not the very first videos. The very first videos were like us being on like the train going up to Chicago to like go to our consulate before we flew out, and like the plane ride over to Japan. And again, it was really just for friends and family. Like it wasn't really any intention of going viral. But at that time it was 2022, and I think people coming off of COVID were still like quite like travel antsy. Like people wanted to know like what's going on. What's going on out there? Like it's been so long, I've been locked up, So we just started kind of putting these clips together. And
you had all these great stories from your school, and you had, I feel like you wanted to share that. I think was a big part of the initial drive of that. And you wanted to share these fun stories, and you had like, even if, and I think part of it was us trying to make the best of a situation that was otherwise, a little bit.
It's tough at the very least.
A little tough. It was definitely something for us that we were going through, that we were trying to kind of get through and make the most out of it. And I think you had all these beautiful stories, and you told them in such an amazing way. And then we kind of got more and more involved in it, and we started making them about things that weren't about the school as much, and then continuing, and then eventually we moved. But
I mean, in the beginning it was just TikTok.
Really? Oh, you started on TikTok.
Only TikTok, and we weren't earning anything. Like it was
for
just
while,
for funsies for like more than a year.
Almost a year,
Yeah, we were not earning anything at all, so it didn't seem like it'd become any kind of full-time job.
No.
And even after we finally started like earning money from TikTok, like we still worked a full-time job, at a corporate environment here in
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
What did you do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were marketing. I was marketing, and
I was a travel agent.
Which
travel agent
doesn't exist in a lot of other places. But in Japan,
we have Tower Records too.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I had worked part-time online, and then we both moved up to Tokyo for these jobs. And we were doing you were doing the marketing and media stuff. And then all this time we were occasionally going on these things called fam trips, which are like,
they're
monitor tours, which is like you go and you give like a rating of the tour to see like what like Western tourist expectations of different locations are, because these places want to know like what they should change to be more marketable to like Western tourists or whatever. And, but and that was part of the time where we were filming those things, and some of that stuff got into the videos. And eventually we were doing this thing where we were starting to work on YouTube, and we were also working on this thing, and everything was just kind of getting too busy.
Yeah.
So we were like, when are we going to be at the point where we can do this full time?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was about, I don't know when our YouTube really started taking off. I think we were at like 500,000 subscribers by the time we were like
full time.
Yeah, maybe it's
Crazy.
really time. And it's different for short. Like if you have 500,000 subscribers from like long form, it's like
you're bringing in
you
the
should have
money,
been quit for a while, potentially. I guess it's kind of different now in 2026.
Yeah.
2026 is a different environment than,
YouTube
a couple years
has
ago.
changed. Yes.
YouTube
Sure.
has
Yeah,
and
yeah.
is still
It's changing.
changing.
Yes.
But like for shorts creators, we were like, I don't know, and you're told so many things about like, well, it's not consistent income. And we were very careful because we were like, well, even though it's a Japanese salary that we're making at this Japanese company, it's coming in every
Stable.
month.
Yeah.
It's stable. It's getting us like relevant
Yeah, the
experience and
visa.
things that if we needed to go back to the US, we could like have this on our resume and this would look good. But then it got to the point where it was like, okay, well, if YouTube is paying in USD and Japan is paying in yen, it doesn't take much to like eclipse what you're making from a Japanese salary. Because Japanese salaries are what? Like, I want to say like 1,500 on a good exchange
2,000.
Yeah.
day
Sometimes
rate.
less. Yeah, I
sometimes
guess.
less.
Yeah.
So at that point, we were like, okay, it doesn't really take a lot to make more than you're making with these kind of exchange rates right
Yeah.
now. So, and that's just a problem Japan is still battling, is these low
Yeah.
wages.
I mean, that's the reason everyone's here also partly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another reason why a lot of people who are like here as foreigners have tried to do some kind of content creation on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
I swear every person we know is like, yeah, I also have this like social media. I'm like,
Or
good
like
for
they're
you.
modeling, or they have some
Modeling.
kind of side gig. Everybody's got a side gig
Yeah.
here because it's like they want to make a little bit extra,
Yeah.
just to stay
I
above.
mean, if you can
know.
get paid in like dollars or even like
Yep.
euros or
Yep,
something,
yep.
it obviously
the
makes it a
exchange
lot
rate,
easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doubles
Pretty
your
rough
money almost.
Yeah. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cost of living isn't. I mean, it's inflating. Like
Yeah.
that's like a constant discussion here in the news. But like compared to America, like it would have been so hard for us to confidently quit our jobs
the
in
US.
America with
Yeah.
like the amount of money that you make from YouTube. But here it's kind of like, okay, well, like if I have a bad month, I'm still like floating like
Yeah.
very easily,
Yeah.
whereas and in America,
Not in a studio apartment in New
yeah,
York,
in-
you're
in
not.
LA. Like I see these LA
Yeah.
influencers and people, like people are posting all the time because they have to in order to keep up the
like
lifestyle.
taking every brand deal, to not having any kind of, and it's like
AI waifus,
From a-
you say?
from like a worker's perspective, it's like, yeah, you got to live, like you got to take what you got to do. But from the other perspective, it's like you don't want to have to do that. You don't wanna
Yeah, you
have
kind of
to
want it to
telling
be something
everyone-
creative.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah. You want it to be something you believe in,
I agree.
right? It's like,
When did you reach that point then? When did you hit your like 500K mark?
Gosh, that was
we quit those jobs a little over a year ago, probably 14, 15 months ago. We were planning to quit
2024?
the last summer of
Okay.
2024.
Yeah, summer of 2024.
Yeah, so it's been
Nice.
that was when we were like, hey, we need to quit these jobs. And then we had a deal with this company and we're like, okay, this is kind of our exit. And then we basically quit. And then, so now, we've been doing this for full time for about a year and 3-4 months.
Which feels way longer than it's been. I think because we do so much and we like, it's like when you're young, and the school year feels so long because you're
Yeah.
constantly
so much
learning.
new
Yeah,
stuff,
so much
yeah.
new stuff,
Yeah.
right? They say that your brain like registers time differently, and I feel like that might kind of be how it feels. It simultaneously feels so quick, like every day feels quick,
Yeah.
but every like period
Yeah.
feels longer because we've gotten so much done that I'm like, oh, really? That was
Yeah.
like only, this amount of time ago?
Yeah, and we're
Like,
always
Crazy.
traveling to film for videos, and the videos are always, the cycle is so quick.
yeah.
So it's like it's on a 5-day cycle basically.
Yeah.
But
Where it's like you have to go somewhere, you have to come back, you have to edit it and all that stuff. So the cycle is like it's always running.
and even since we started, like content has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like for shorts in particular, it used to be so easy to go viral.
Everything's shorter now, including
everything's shorter.
Everything's shorter with shorts, including the how quickly
cycle.
it's how
Yeah,
quickly-
you used to
yeah.
be able to do like anything. Like you used to be able to be like, come with me and we're gonna pick
Right.
strawberries.
People had
in
never seen it
Japan.
before, right?
And
Now
yeah.
everyone's seen it, you know.
And everybody's seen it. So you really have to like, I'm so lucky that we had a time period where like we were going viral for those kind of like easy, you know, targets of like come with me as we check out this train where a cat is a station attendant, you know, and it's just cute, and you don't have to like really spin it
fabricate it
into
too
this
much
challenge or this like story or anything. There doesn't need to be a huge drive because people are just like, I want to see that. Like back you know, 2 years ago, people would just watch literally anything.
I feel like there's a lot of rage bait recently in like shorts content,
because
right?
it's like once you've seen everything, you know, you have to get angry about something in order to want to watch it.
And even in our comments, we'll get people who are like, why are you complaining about Japan all the time? I'm like, are we? Or is that just the videos that are going out to you because you're responding to them?
Exactly.
Because if you went through the catalog, you would see like, you know, we have one video that's like, this is a really cool thing I found in Japan. And then the next one, like, I hate the Japan banking system, which I do.
Yeah.
But like, you know, we go back and forth, and that's really what we try to do in our even in short form content, like by showing this kind of like broader picture. But if people are only engaging with the negative stuff,
it does do better.
That's all they're gonna see, you know.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad.
The other part of that is like we're not like scientists. We're not like crazy experts of these things. We didn't go to school for like, you know, we have our degrees and
I'm
stuff.
a political scientist.
Right, but
no,
like,
I'm kidding.
you know what I mean?
Wait a second, that's not a real.
But yeah, like we're not like the most brilliant minds or anything, but like we try to spend a lot of time making sure that we're not spreading misinformation, which is, you know, why I'm completely doing a 180 on that with this podcast.
And
also try to lie as much as possible.
difficult, difficult, I guess, also especially because with short form there's like a quicker turnaround, so you have like a little bit less time and making sure
Well, and
everything's
it's
true.
so hard to compete with the people who are like these AI, you
Like
know,
slop
people,
farm.
slop farms, where they're saying, this is why Japan is the cleanest country to ever exist. They can make all these inflammatory things, and like there's no face
the
attached
Japanese
to it.
are so clean.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like,
you can literally like people have breakfast on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And they can say that, and they don't have like a personality attached to it to hold anybody accountable. So there's like, they can just say this stuff, and the comments can rage as much as they want, but if it ended up getting like 20-30 million views, then it might as well be real to a lot of these people.
I mean, I have a similar experience from the anime community where I think the like anime YouTube was very underserved for a long time. And then I think suddenly like things exploded, and everyone was like, "Oh, anime content, easy to make." And then like a bazillion channels did 100 things you didn't know about Nezuko. And I think now everyone's just really tired of anime content.
They're like, I'll just watch the damn anime.
I mean, it's like a, you know, multi-billion-dollar industry.
I do think, and this is as a bitter creator, a bitter long-form creator who doesn't do a lot of shorts.
Okay, old man.
I personally have been very unsatisfied as a viewer. What YouTube curates at the moment, because the only things that my YouTube recommendation like 2 years ago used to be like creators I follow and like whatever they've been up to, or like an older video, and then like a good healthy amount of new stuff. Interesting, that's a cool channel. And then like maybe here and there, like, oh, this was like a music thing you watched in the past or something, and then like shorts, here's one short shelf. Now it's like, do you want to watch shorts? And I'm like, no. Do you want to watch this video you've already seen 4 times? Do you want to watch shorts? And then it's like, do you want to watch this video about a random topic that has 80 views? And I'm like,
I do get some of those.
What is happening?
Well, and to play like devil's advocate, there was also this period of like COVID when everybody was jumping on like video essays. And I quickly like realized nobody's saying anything.
Dude.
What? I just
So
watched this
based.
30-minute video, and I'm like,
No
and
point.
yeah,
That's so
it's like
true.
about
some
existentialism.
Good people are, there
There's-
are great video essays on
yeah.
There
YouTube,
are
obviously,
amazing
but
ones.
yeah.
But
That's
you know,
actually so
just
true.
like everybody jumped on anime, there were a lot of stuff where people just jumped on. They had, they were like, "Oh, I can just summarize this."
Yeah.
the TikTokification of the rapid decline of the story
And the
of
rise
the
and fall of-
situation.
Yeah.
The rise and fall.
And they
Yeah.
tell you that they're gonna from the very beginning, they're like, "Well, I'm gonna tell you about existentialism and how you should feel about
Yeah.
and then they end up just going through a whole summary of like
The
the
Wikipedia
background,
page.
the Wikipedia page, and you're like,
Yeah.
so there's a part of me that's like, shorts. I think I'm like, good. People have learned how to just say the thing that they want to say. There's some
Right.
of me that's like, all right,
I get that.
get
Yeah,
it,
Get to the point.
get to
Yeah.
the point. Like
Yeah.
just
There's
say
your
the damn thing.
thesis talking.
I mean,
right
it's.
now.
I think it's
Yeah.
interesting because, and I feel like this is probably not a very sympathetic thing, being like, everyone's doing bad content, but I'm actually doing great content. Like
I'm
people don't
different.
appreciate. I'm
It is
different.
true.
People don't
Pick me
appreciate me.
content creator.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Boo-hoo,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I do think it's a little bit sad in the sense that for me, YouTube, like now, obviously it is a job, right? And for you
Yeah.
guys too, but at the same time, like it was obviously born out of like a creative passion and
Yeah.
wanting to share, like whether it's like excitement or like struggles that you have
Yeah.
with whatever the topic is,
Mhm.
right? And I don't like the feeling of having, and I guess you don't have to. Technically, you can still just like be creative, but there is a very good chance that if you just do what you want to do art-wise, it's probably gonna fail. So you kind of like feel like, okay, do I want to put out content? Is it just gonna be a hobby, but I do what I want to do, or is it gonna be I want to play the game and I do want to reach people, but then you kind of have to compete with everything else
Yeah.
that out there, and yeah.
Yeah.
I like what I like about it is that it kind of forces you, I guess, in a way, to be more creative and learn new things and express yourself, maybe express the same creative ideas in like maybe a more interesting way, but it's still rough sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's the niching down thing. Like I think if you want to make money on your art, then you have to be like really deep involved in the community that is interested in that art. Like if it's manga or anime or whatever, like it can't even be anime, right? It has to be One Piece, right? It has to be this season of One Piece. It has to be something very specific, and
Well, you have to
that's
be
hard, man.
willing to
Especially as an
do-
artist, you want to do whatever you want.
willing to do something that your viewers aren't willing to do. That's like
true,
my
that's true.
biggest single thing that I've like come to the realization with, especially with long form, because people are giving you, their time. They're giving you 30 minutes or more of their day, which
They're
is
giving you almost 2 hours. Thank
Almost
you.
2 hours.
Thank you
If
so
you're
much.
if you're still here, if anyone's still watching,
Here.
we do appreciate that.
But yeah, they're giving you all this time.
It's true. It's true.
And so are they really going to watch somebody else like enjoy their lives if they can go and actually just go do that themselves? Or, if you're going to do something that they're like, I don't want to go camping in negative 40-degree weather, but I'll watch Luke from
watch
Outdoor
Outdoor
Boys.
Boys.
Do
Yeah,
that.
boy.
Like,
I'll do it. Good.
yeah.
Have fun. Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll watch somebody else do that. Or, in
That's
the
true.
anime community, it's like I don't want to watch like 100 of the worst anime. But I'll watch Joey talk about it. You
Yeah,
know what I
it's
mean?
true.
He can
Nobody's-
give me a summary of what
Nobody
he
wants to
thinks.
go up to Utsunomiya and
Yeah.
go to like 40 different locations
Yeah.
for a Pokemon video.
But we did it.
they
Yeah.
want to watch. They want to watch someone do it and
Yeah.
see what those places look like.
And
think
was
that's
it
a
a
fair point.
struggle? Was it annoying logistically to put together? Yes. But that's why nobody else has done
Nobody
it
else
yet.
wants-
And we
yeah.
were the first ones to make a video about it.
The effort is coming out.
Yeah.
The effort is coming
Yeah.
out. And it's,
Yeah.
And it's
And unfortunately,
hard.
YouTube's paying less than ever for that effort.
Right.
But that's just,
Right.
so it's...
Also for shorts,
Everything.
yeah. I mean, I think for me, I had a period where I did a couple of shorts and I dabbled with it, and I think I put out maybe like 20 on my channel.
Mm.
I want to say, the biggest of which I think got like 13, 14 million views.
Yeah.
And I
Oh.
very much remember in that lifetime of that short existing, it made like $500
Yeah.
or something.
You're like,
Which, not bad, but
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
I mean, that's my
13 million
biggest short, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like- and you spent all this
like-
time you spent an editor or
Yeah.
whatever, like,
Right.
Well,
Well,
like
you
that
think
is
about how like influential you're being. Like, when we go out, we get recognized all the time, and it's like a beautiful
Especially you with
thing.
your hair.
Like it's so like humbling because I like consumed content like a fiend when I was, in high school and
true.
stuff. So
Yeah.
if I met my favorite YouTuber, I'd be like, oh my God, like this means so much to me, So it's a very like full circle moment, but also it's kind of depressing in a way because you're like, I don't know what the future of this like medium's gonna be, for how
Yeah.
influential, for how many eyes you're reaching. It's like the payout is, it's becoming less and less.
And you're at least like, I think travel content at the very least is like still from a marketing perspective, I guess,
very friendly.
a little bit more friendly because I think like anime is not the not the
anime
strong.
gaming is kind of like,
You gotta get rid of that hat over there.
No, never.
Never.
Could never.
But I mean, I think me personally, like I think it's easy, especially when you just are so trained by YouTube to always look at number go up, number go down.
It's hard.
It's very hard to break out and be like, okay, gotta really be thankful that you got, even if it should like, and you always gotta be ready, I guess, to like, as something happens,
Pivot.
whatever,
Yeah.
like. I think YouTube's gonna stick around, but you never know. It might not, and
True.
or even if it does, like has happened last year, where like the algorithm changed so drastically. Where you're like, okay, you never like it's never secure that you're gonna be able to keep doing this, and gotta be grateful while you're still allowed, I guess, to do
Yeah,
that.
that's
Save up,
something
be
we said
smart with your money.
from the very beginning of like
buy that
quitting.
modded.
Yeah,
Don't buy-
don't
don't buy
buy them on a Game Boy, maybe.
You look at your eyes are all sad. Are you sure?
Like
Sure.
next week, I'll just do a review of it. It's
Yeah.
like now it's tax
It's a
deductible.
tax write-off.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's research for a video.
Yeah.
I played 300 hours on
I
it.
See, I don't
spent-
want to do that. So if you do that, I'm
I
gonna
spent
watch.
80% of my monthly budget on
on a modded
Modded
Game Boy
Game Boy.
Advance.
No, what we've been saying from the very beginning is like, even if this isn't forever, we're so lucky that this was
Oh
like
my
any
gosh,
portion
so
of our
lucky,
life.
So
ever.
lucky, yeah. Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
my
so
10-year-old
grateful.
self would be elated. Like I think about it, I like think all the time about like the girl who was like sitting, watching like Philip DeFranco or like the old, like the Smosh, like sitting and just watching them and being like, that's so cool. Like that's the best job ever. But like, I wouldn't even let myself think that could be a job for me. Cause I was like, no, that's them. That's the YouTubers.
Yeah.
But now I get to like call myself that. And I'm like, you know what? Even if it was for a year, 2 years, at least it was some part of my life that I get to like fulfill that.
Yeah.
Check that off
It's
of
very
my.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
So emotional.
And I
It's the
just think
sake.
it's the sake talking. If you want some more, I do agree though. I
Crying.
feel like because not only that, like YouTube, like it forces you also in a very positive way, or it allows you, I guess, if you want it to be more positive, to learn so many new skills. And like for me, I've always been like a very creative kid, and then I think I don't really know when, like maybe like high school age, I kind of like started kind of. Maybe the world or maybe society beat it out of me, or maybe I beat it out of myself a little
It's a very
bit.
high school thing, I think.
Yeah, but then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, like I graduated. I was like, well, don't want to travel. I don't really know. I'm just gonna start studying. So I was like, I graduated with 17, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna go to university because it's free.
Yeah.
Flex in Germany. And so I was like, what am I gonna study? And I was like, a buddy of mine was like, I'm gonna study business. I guess I'm gonna study business.
Yeah.
And I was
did
like,
that.
and then when I was coming close to like graduating, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna look for some job somewhere. And then when during COVID, like my channel also blew up in 2020, I was like, damn, like I get like I suddenly got to like engage with my creative side again.
Yeah.
It was like actually like reawakening my
This
inner
can be
child
real. This
in
can,
such a
like,
positive way. And I think
Yeah.
even if I like YouTube stopped working for me like tomorrow, I think I would still probably just try something new creatively.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should. I think you should.
I think you should. I think you should.
I think you should right
Stop.
now. No.
Stop
Stop.
YouTube right
no.
actually turn the cameras on.
No, like I think that is I always encourage people to like be as creative as you like, make something, right? Like I'm trying to make stuff every day. Like we're trying to make things, and like
I think it's like I'm not sure if you can relate to this. I think, and this always comes off as shitty advice, I think. And when I heard that at first, when I was starting on YouTube and trying to learn how to do it, I was always like, it feels very preachy from someone who already does it as a job.
Yeah.
But I do feel people who try and come into YouTube to make money, that for me is like kind of the worst approach you can have. Because if
Yeah.
you just want to get rich, there's probably better things you can do
Significantly.
Yeah.
to achieve that with
Significantly.
a lot less work. So I think YouTube just really works if they're like you genuinely enjoy if you don't like making videos. I have people come up to me and are like I want to be a YouTuber, but I don't like making videos. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's like
Then maybe it's
Then
not
why?
for
then you should
an
not do
investment
that.
banker
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
you know?
literally, yeah.
Do some job that everybody
Go into-
hates.
yeah,
At
literally.
least you make money.
Go into finance, yeah.
Yeah, go to finance.
Genuinely, you are going to probably
Accountant.
make more money.
Yeah.
Almost.
If you
certainly.
bring the same dedication to becoming a big YouTuber to just like becoming an investment banker, you're probably going to be better
Yeah,
off
true.
financially
Right,
at the
yeah.
end of the
True,
day.
true,
you will,
Yeah.
And you're willing to like grind into it, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
But I'm like that blows my mind. I think like that wanting to do YouTube when you're not really like enjoying
Yeah.
the process.
I think we've both always been pretty creative people.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Yeah.
working a full-time job when we started the TikToks.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
I didn't need it from clearly
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we weren't paid anything
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
the
exact-
longest time.
Yeah, we were doing it for free.
We were
you
doing
know?
it for
And
free.
You came into it with all of this energy from your
Yeah.
job because you're like, I need to create something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and I think that there's like this misconception too, because you see these huge views, and there's like during like COVID, people were like, "Oh, that girl shakes her ass and makes $10,000 a video," and it's like I don't know what world maybe that existed like back in
Maybe there was
the
like
olden day.
10 people doing that, I
Yeah.
guess.
The
like-
golden days.
Yeah,
With
the
the
golden,
good
the
old-
golden days, really. But that, for the most part, I feel like a lot of the creators I meet now are kind of like starving artists. I mean, or at least, at the
Yeah.
very least, it's like their side gig. It's just like a
Entirely
I
side
understand.
do.
hustle.
My impression is at least, and this is I obviously like I think everyone just has like a certain window to it, but I do think there is absolutely like a very steep, the more like not winner takes it all is maybe the wrong one, but there's like a certain
Competitive.
level where you can live off of it.
Yep.
But there is very much once you get to like the 0.0 whatever percent, like the curve starts going
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
and there is for sure a point that sadly I think we're all not super close to
There's a
where
certain
you act where there
momentum.
is big money.
Once
and
I get
whatnot.
veneers and
Yeah.
give you that Mr. Beast
Yeah,
smile,
oh, yeah.
it's over for
The
y'all.
thumbnail.
yeah.
It's over for y'all.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah.
I will say I watched a video recently about how like the middle class, I mean the middle class in general is like
Shrinking.
bye
Vanishing,
girl,
yeah.
but
Bye, girl.
but especially for like creators, like you just because there's not enough stability
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have like a middle class, like
yeah.
you
Well,
kind
YouTube
of
doesn't promote it also either. I
No.
feel
No.
Yeah.
no because
I mean, subscribers technically, I'm not sure how it is for you, and I think recent subscribers, and it's still a great number. It's still a fun metric, and I don't think YouTube's gonna get rid of it. But
No.
technically, it's not really worth anything because YouTube will
Yeah.
always look, did you watch that person? Like,
Yep.
subscribing
Especially
means
for
nothing.
shorts.
Subscribing is like, I like your channel overall.
Yeah.
But it's never gonna be I'm gonna subscribe to this channel to actually get all their stuff. It's like
Yeah.
if I watch the last 3 videos, I'm gonna see the next one.
Yeah.
But if I skip the last 2, I'm probably not gonna even know you uploaded.
yeah,
Yep,
true.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially shorts, like if you
That's even more so for
yeah,
shorts.
even
I can
more
imagine,
so for
yeah.
and even
shorts.
more so for TikTok specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we've
TikTok
noticed
is-
that since the
TikTok
beginning.
was the first one to do that. Just like boom, you will get nothing
Done.
if they're not going to watch.
Yeah, it better be good or else we're not
Right.
going to show it.
Shorts is a
Like,
little bit more of padding, like where it's like, oh, people have subscribed, like they kind of know you a little bit, so probably they will watch.
Yeah.
And then like long videos are even more so like loyalty based, I guess.
at least there's like a subscription feed. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
when have you last opened your subscription feed on YouTube?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
might- yeah.
I miss
I just
her.
watch
Maybe
the
I
same
need to
creators
revisit
over
her.
and over again.
You do.
YouTube doesn't
What have you guys been watching? Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've been like detoxing. I've just been watching soccer content.
How dare you live in the real world?
You're
I've
taking
been-
our word too. I don't think you're allowed to say soccer, right? You have to say football.
I mean,
Yeah, you're-
oh,
You,
I want you guys to feel welcome.
Yeah. You're
Good
translating
job.
yourself.
It's like I'm back home.
I'm self-censoring.
Self-censoring.
Exactly.
Code switching.
Yeah.
Actually, another thing I kind of wanted to ask you guys in that regard is, I guess, a little bit the other side of things, and I'm very curious how it is for you because you are so active, and I could kind of see it going either way. And also with the short content, how have you guys like struggled at all with like running into burnout or, you know, just being a little bit overworked? Because obviously with the like the one thing with content creation is you kind of can never stop. You kind of gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the train running.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I mean I found like a good level, I think, at which I can do that. But I think the last time I took like a full week off without doing anything for work has been like 8 years ago.
Wow.
So I'm kind of curious how it's for you guys.
I don't know when the last time a full week.
Like a full week of
mean,
truly no work.
Like truly, like
When
not
we-
looking at anything.
When we visit the States, we'll take a couple days and check in a couple times. I think we have to keep each other accountable because I think we're pretty good at seeing when we're about to burn out. Like when I see that you're like, you know, getting tired or starting to feel like you're, you know, not so excited about it, then I'll have to check in with you. And I think you do the same.
Yeah.
I think that's been pretty important over the last couple of years as we learn to not be working at the same company, but not at the same place, or like, or just working in different jobs. Like we're working together constantly, you know?
But it's also part of the key is like being a couple, you have this different dynamic than most YouTubers have access to. Like the reason why I think a lot of YouTubers can't do shorts and long form at the same time, which like fair enough, is you just don't have the bandwidth. Like there's almost no way you can do that without like completely burning yourself out and still having any like semblance of like creative control. Like there are some people that I guess they just come into a studio and like they film and then they're like, okay, you
Goodbye.
guys do whatever you do with this. But for us, we still retain like a relatively high level of, I mean, our shorts, we edit it all ourselves. Like we film, edit, voiceover. There's nothing we hand over to anybody else. It's only between us that we like, we switch back and forth. And then long videos, like, you know, we do have an editor, but Ben is really, he handles like, I mean, we script together. Right? And then we film together, obviously.
I'd say it's pretty fluid for the most part. I think you're more heavy on the shorts and I'm hevier on the long video, but like, I think we kind of have to be very like
fill in the gaps
adaptable.
That are like,
when it's like I cannot think of the right word. I can't think, or you know, you're like, oh, you know, what should I say next in this, like, or what kind of edits do we need in this? Like I feel like we're just basically just constantly renegotiating and trying to figure out like where we can fill in the gaps, because we agree that, hey, we want to make the best videos we can. You know, we want them to be fun and somewhat entertaining or educational.
I think it's probably also great that I think one of the big issues for me with YouTube, and that's fine, but I think it tends to get lonely, especially if you don't have like people around constantly. Because you are talking to a big audience, but in the end, you're sitting down and you're talking to a camera, and you're scripting in your office, right? So it can get a little bit lonely. I think that's so for me. Actually, building a bit of a team has been like I think the best decision ever, and I have crazy respect for creators like you who just say like, okay, we want to be in full creative control and just do things ourselves. I respect that, but for me, it's been. I don't think it would have been possible to like keep doing this as consistently and at the same level of quality and retaining my own creativity without having people to help me, you know, like edit and like help with like the writing process and whatever. And it's been not only has it been helpful as it takes, you know, away some of the things that maybe I'm not as skilled with or maybe don't enjoy as much about the creative process, but also it's been enjoyable just having people to talk to and bounce ideas off of. And you know, like I actually just today I had like a meeting with like my two team guys who we like ideation and like strategy and what can we do about editing, and it's just like refreshing to have someone on the same channel that you can be like, how can we make this better, or like you know, I have this idea,
Somebody
you've
seen all these like YouTubers go crazy or like off the rails, and you're like, as a viewer, you're like, what is wrong with them, what's going on? But then like you get in this position and you realize like, oh, like it's because it can be so you can really get in your own head, right? You know.
And I feel like we can keep each other accountable in the content level of like of the quality, and also like
on a personal level,
going crazy, right? Like it's like
we've always had each other to bounce off of. Like
Aw.
always. Yeah, we've always had each other. That's why even though a lot of
I mean, my business partner,
Mhm.
my favorite.
Yes, yeah, my
favorite
bro,
business
my
partner.
business bro.
professional
keep it
contact.
HR
Sorry,
safe, please.
My bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't touch the box. Right? It's the no touch zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like fundamentally, like we come from a different perspective than if we had like been doing this as our own venture, because we both care so much. But also, I think recently we've had this kind of like renaissance of like thought about our like, especially shorts, somewhat long form, but that's kind of new to us still.
Yeah.
But shorts, like we want to enjoy doing it, and we want to film like our story and do it in a way that's fun for us still, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
because
think-
we're like, it's like no one is forcing us to be YouTubers.
Yeah.
Right? It's like no one is. It's like this was our call to do this.
Yeah.
Like no one grabbed us by the neck and
Do
said,
it.
Yeah, it's like we had jobs before this. We could have done that. We could have stayed. But like this was a decision we made together, and that's like a big part of our life now. And I think that serves as a pretty good symbol of like, okay, we don't want to like be lazy about it. We don't want to fight about it. We'd much rather both be on the same page. Like it's just kind of inherent to both of us. I think that we both give a shit about the videos, and we don't want them to do poorly, you know?
Yeah. And I think the other thing about like burnout in general is that like I had this realization the other day that you hear so much about like YouTuber burnout, and I think it's because you have this huge platform to talk about your burnout, right? But in reality, like everybody's getting burned out
Yeah.
in their job. They just don't have this huge platform to like
Yes.
talk
Share
about,
about it.
I need a couple months off from
Yeah.
like my
I
job,
will
you
say
know?
I do very much, because I have experienced it myself in like what was it, like 2023.
Yeah.
I did burn out like for sure, and like needed to like kind of rethink how I approach content, and that was mostly due to this thinking about the next video, grinding through the next video, making sure it's as good as you can, publishing it, everything's gone, everything's back to zero.
Yep.
The week starts again.
Reset.
Yeah.
And I think I hit this point, and I was working through the weekend. Like that was I think
Saturday.
Yeah.
Have a Monday.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
the moment you
YouTubers
post, it's Monday.
can relate to this, where it's so fun and so gratifying. Numbers go up and you do stuff, and
Yeah.
people start watching, and you want to do stuff, and it's so easy to just work every day because it doesn't even feel like work. It's just fun.
Right.
And then you start hitting a point
Yeah.
where you figure out, okay, you can't just do it 7 days a week for
Yeah.
13 hours a day.
There's times when recently we've been talking about like, hey, what's a good day of the week or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's like, unless you are really serious about your schedule and you're like the kind of person who's like, this type of day, like a Monday is this and Tuesday is this, like you have no one to tell you otherwise. So we have to agree like, okay, no, this day I need off, and like we're gonna both take this day, we're gonna do nothing.
Nice.
Which
is surprisingly hard, right? Doing nothing.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's my emails right there. You know,
Yeah.
I could say, I could do a little editing, a little voiceover. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's really funny hanging out with YouTubers because everybody, like, nobody knows what day it is. Like you might
That's
know
so
the
true.
date, but nobody knows like
They're like,
what day of the week
it's like
it is.
Wednesday or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I have heard some wild things.
I'm so guilty of that though. Like I'll be at the mall and I'll be like, why is it so busy? And then I realize, oh, it's Saturday. Like what?
I think the wildest thing I've heard last year was, oh, it's November. It's the wildest thing I have heard.
Yeah.
Everyone has such a different like work schedule too, so it's like I feel like it's hard to meet up with people even.
It is,
but I think it's so important. It's like you have to make friends at your job a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You have to meet up with people and be like, oh
Network.
man, this part of our job sucks, or
Yeah.
or like, or this
Yeah.
part is like, oh, things have been going so well in this area, and like
Yeah.
you just have to get it out. You have to express it.
Yeah, when I was younger, like 15,
Said
watching
no
my-
one ever.
Said
By the
no
way,
one
I wanted
ever.
to say it's going so great. It's like I've never heard that in any YouTube conversation
Real.
I've ever had. Sorry.
Real. No. I was just thinking like
have a good attitude.
Yeah.
back when I was 15, I was like watching all these YouTubers. Like, why are they all like friends? Like, why do they all know each other? And then I'm like realized like, oh, that's their coworkers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they need somebody.
Or they're
who,
secretly
like,
hang
not
out
friends
with.
at
or
all.
they're secretly not friends. You
or
know?
they secretly all hate each
Yeah.
other.
And that's
Yeah.
the other thing that's like been so interesting about this journey is like you learn how different it is than you think. Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of people or things that you think like they're clearly shown like to be one way online, and then you're like, oh, what a perfect life and a perfect platform they have.
Sure,
like, wow, I'm so jealous.
It's so cut and dry.
Yeah, they have an
so
amazing
simple.
audience, and like I'm just so jealous.
And when people, the same is even true about for example, the teacher videos that were like the first series on the platform. Where it's like,
Everybody's
oh,
like,
Megan's life is so good. It's
so Studio Ghibli.
And it's like the whole time, it's like we were like going through it. Like we didn't really have any money. We were like, we were kind of roughing it a little. We were out in the boonies. Like I spoke literally no Japanese at all. She spoke Japanese that was like from a university. So it was like very traditional.
Yeah.
So it was like there was a lot going on. And the same is true for all of these, pretty much everyone. It's like there's so much more context to these videos, especially shorts, that would probably make you feel a little bit differently about it. It's like kind of a weird feeling.
I mean, it's just like you don't watch how the sausages are made. You
know
what I mean?
These people are not your friends. They're not your friends. They're people who are making videos to entertain.
Like and there's this like drive. I'm sure you felt it too, to like turn yourself into this kind of 2D portrayal of yourself so that people can understand your brand so much easier and like who you are. But like the reality is like we're all multifaceted people. Like somebody whose life might look perfect on camera, again, don't look behind the curtain, because like things could
look
be
at Elon Musk. You can be like the richest,
exactly,
you can be the richest person in history and still crash out every day.
Super unsatisfied and like
it's nice coming on a podcast to talk about this kind of thing, because like we have the long videos, but they're so scripted. They're so like focused on like a topic or something like that. And then the shorts, you have 30 seconds. You're not going to be talking about your childhood.
You should maybe experiment with it, because it's something I've scripted pretty much all my videos from the 5th video I've ever made on YouTube until recently, where I started being a lot more. I still have scripted videos, but even in those, I just give myself permission to like freestyle stuff.
Yeah.
And I was very scared doing it at first, because I felt like, oh, if it doesn't have anything to do with, I don't know, like Luffy's next power up or whatever, like people are gonna be annoyed. But it's been very fun doing it, and people have really enjoyed it, I've found. And I think this might just be because people want a little bit more authenticity now also with AI. And I guess like if you just want your quick fix, it's gonna be shorts. I think.
Exactly.
And so I would experiment a little bit with like going on little tangents, and I do feel like that people enjoy it, and it makes the video also more enjoyable to make, because it kind of does flavor everything a little bit more and grounds it a little bit more.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's important. I think people want that with AI, because that's the only thing AI can't give you now. It's like AI can't. AI, but the AI is never gonna be like have personal responsibility and things like that. It's just a different kind of thing. It's a different kind of entertainment. Like the AI is never gonna be able to have that kind of personal aspect where it's like, oh, somone went through something. They had this experience. They had this this thing that they suffered through. Or something.
I think the thing with AI is, Joe, it feels like if it's gonna keep going the way it's going, I feel like the logical conclusion is just that you have an app where you can, or in YouTube even, where you can just be like, oh, make me a video about this.
Yeah.
Like
They're
that
already
just
doing
feels
things like Spotify is working on that for music.
Okay.
All the music stuff is insane right now. It's like you can already basically just generate a song from nothing.
Crazy.
From a prompt, like a pretty simple prompt too. It's kind of
like, I mean, if people want to watch that, chill. If I want to consume content, I want to actually see someone. I want to see the edges and everything.
I don't want to be a Luddite, because like there's some people where that's all they need. That's all they need is their conversation with chat and ChatGPT chat, and they're happy with that as their like form of entertainment and like and fulfillment in life.
Yeah.
But like I feel like, I don't know, AI has no stakes. Like it doesn't know like whether or not you should break up with somebody, because it doesn't have to make that decision.
Well, it just tells you what it thinks you probably want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Like the cumulative like stuff that it's pulled in from the internet.
And that can be useful. Like for
yeah.
search and stuff like that, for sure. Like that can be useful. Even like you can be like, hey, this song that was made by AI, we're seeing there was like trends where it's, oh, this song is AI. Like I didn't even know. Like
it's
I like
gotten
this.
me before.
Yeah,
It's gotten me.
And it's like, okay, people can like this, like genuinely, and they can think it's real, and they can connect with the song. They can have all of these internal feelings about the song. And
I'm just a bit. Sorry.
And it's generated. So it's like that doesn't mean that it's like some magical thing. It just means that it's a new kind of media.
Yes.
And you need to understand like how to interact with that. And I think people are struggling with that.
I think I just want to know.
Same.
Like if you tell me this is AI made, then I can make the decision. I want to listen to this or not. But I don't like the trying to pass it I made this when you didn't.
Yep.
Yeah,
right? I agree. Yeah. Because it's like that takes away from the value of the creator's content.
Yes.
Because then it's like it's muddying the waters and oversaturating.
And I'm also still waiting for the moment. And maybe it's going to come. And like, I mean, I know there's always like the AI fanboys and they're going to be like, no, it's coming, it's happening.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting for the moment where AI is actually doing something creative that's not based on what someone else put a lot of effort in.
It's not derivative. It's all just derivative right now.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, back to like the concept of these YouTube channels that like even the history ones where it's just, trying to summarize like a Wikipedia, even those I click off of because there's no stakes.
And they're
like,
wrong.
They're wrong.
Partly, yeah.
And
even if it's like something
saying,
small,
like, there's no stakes in them being wrong. And like it just feels fundamentally like a story about humanity, like me learning about, human society evolution or whatever. Like, I don't want to learn about that from an AI because I can just go read the damn Wikipedia article myself. I don't need an AI telling me.
My grandparents were apes.
Yeah, my grandparents were apes.
I want
a real ape to tell me about this.
Ape to tell me what.
Yeah. I agree. I'm very curious. I do like have the hope at least that, people are going to want to look for that more intimate connection again and actually like look for art again. And I kind of have the feeling that at least a certain part of YouTube, I can't speak for Instagram and TikTok, but at least there is like a certain trend towards more quality and, actual like, oh, someone actually put effort in this and it's not just screaming at you.
And
but
that's why it's tighter. That's why
we'll
it's harder
see.
Now.
Yeah.
That means it's only going to get more competitive.
And identity though, like, people like really attaching their identity to this certain like aesthetic or whether that's like authenticity with like, I don't watch AI. Like the part of me is that I only do like true art. Now, the fun part would be if we all got, UBI, universal basic income from out of this.
It's like do whatever, but that's not happening. Sadly,
could be a true renaissance. But I would say any of your viewers who've made it this far probably do believe in some form of authenticity.
I hope so, and we do appreciate that. I do think this is probably, even though a slightly sad but also slightly optimistic ending.
Bittersweet.
I really appreciate you guys coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Do you want to let the good people know where they can find you? Anything you want to plug?
If you guys are on YouTube, we're also on YouTube. We're the Hitobito or Megan and Ben.
Absolutely.
You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook if you dare.
Oh, I'll put everything in a link, all the links in the description except Facebook.
Fair enough. Fair. Honestly, fair.
I'm just kidding. Thanks so much for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Us.
Thank you.
Thank you.